Sports Encyclopedia. You ask Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up, man? We are in the building. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday, T-Ritz Tuesday, Doc Talk, Jesse Morse Tuesday. He's going to break down the NFL injury updates with all things considered. Jalen Hurts, will he be available or not? We're going to break that down right here on the realest show on Planet ERF. And Big Smitty held it down yesterday as I went on the Up in Smoke or All the Smoke with Matt Barnes yesterday in studio. So got to see some old friends of mine up there. Far drive, obviously, but good exposure for this show, Smitty and I's show. So that's another reason I did it, for all the people in the comments. You talk about woke and went on a woke show. Matt and Stack, no, I don't agree with them. You fucking idiots. Just so we're clear, they understand it, and they still brought me on. Out of respect to me, that's a mutual thing. That's what I agree on. I think disagreements create great conversations. And without the conversations, how can someone change? Maybe they can sway me. Maybe I swayed them some way. We'll never know. You'll see the show, but it was more sports-based, not political. But we all talk privately. It is what it is. I've known Matt a long time. I've known a lot of his partners that run the show for a very long time. And it is what it is. But what do I know? But there's a lot going on today, man. Real recognizes real at the end of the day, regardless of what side you are on, what sets you claim, what way you lean. A lot of you need to realize I'm not the average Joe who adheres to outside noise. I don't give a fuck about what's going on at Fox Sports, people. Stop fucking asking me to make a video like the rest of the world. Number one, my investment's not there. It's with Smitty. Number two, I don't know those people. Number three, I don't give a fuck about someone fucking or something else or someone else. I don't care about any of that shit, dog. Stop asking me. Stop bringing it up. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm not Whitlock Show. I'm not one of these video people out here that just needs to show for clicks and likes it because it's the number one thing trending. I don't care. I could have did a video too. I don't know enough. And guess what? I'm not doing the research on it enough to really give a fuck. I don't want to dig deep. I want to be on my yacht, sipping Palomas, getting my dick sucked. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing a deep dive into what the fuck's going on over there. All I care about is Smitty. So give a fuck less about what you guys want. Then leave. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to be trending and keep up with the fucking Joneses. Just so we're clear. That ain't my get down. That ain't my steez. I don't really give a fuck. It wasn't intriguing enough for me to do a fucking show on it. Clear and cut and dry. It's really that simple. So it is what it is. You can like it, hate it, leave it. I don't really give a fuck. Guess what? I'm sleeping tonight regardless of what the fuck you think. So, is what it is. Bride Dog 20, you gonna puss out now. You're a nobody. I don't give a fuck if it's the biggest story. Did you not just hear what I said, Bride Dog? The biggest story is your bitch sucking my dick over here, motherfucker. Now shut the fuck up or get the fuck out. I can give a fuck less about you. Bride Dog, you're a fucking nobody. Andrew Reimer, you're a nobody. Become a member. Become a member. You fucking nobodies. You're the same people that sit around expecting someone else to fucking do story on you. That's the crazy part. Keith Smith, the biggest story is your titties bouncing around on your kneecaps, motherfucker. It ain't the biggest story. You fat fuck. Now shut the fuck up. You want me to keep trending about a fucking nobody story to me? I don't give a fuck. You want the story? Go watch fucking Whitlock, homie. Who we share common interests with. I'm on his show. Steve Kim's on his show. Guess what? Whitlock's on this show. So guess what? You want the story? Go over there. Go watch Marcellus Wiley. They both work there. They give you all the insight. I didn't work there, you fucking idiots. So I don't really care, Bride Dog. But I know your girl got 2 fucking scab kneecaps this morning. And I'm trying to Band-Aid them motherfuckers up as we speak. And you got to teach your bitch to fucking open wider, homie. Because she's struggling in lockjaw right here. Let's get this fucking party started. We got a loaded lineup today, but I don't give a fuck today. It's Talk That Talk Tuesday. So talk and I will talk back, motherfuckers, just so we're clear. I don't give a fuck about your thoughts and feelings. I really don't. So get your fucking thoughts and feelings out of this show. Because this is the realest show. And I don't need to keep up with the fucking Joneses to appease to a bunch of fucking nobodies like Bride Dog. You think Bride Dog keeps my motherfucking lights on, homie? You think he keeps gas in my motherfucking yacht? Bride Dog, you're a fucking nobody. So go wake your mom up, motherfucker, and tell her bitch ass to give me some grits. Now let's get this motherfucking party started. Cleveland, we have a problem. It's called Deshaun Watson. And you overpaid a guy with allegations without really any extensive resume beyond one good season in Houston. You signed a guy with baggage who was injured with court case after court case looming over his head to an all-time high contract with fully guaranteed literature in that contract, which was possibly the most surprising part of this whole debacle. I'd like to point something out about these firings that just occurred in Cleveland. Ken Dorsey was intended to tailor the offense around Deshaun Watson. Him being fired indicates to me the lack of commitment towards Deshaun Watson as an organization in Cleveland and the corresponding style of offense that they're going to run. But a lot of you have no fucking idea what I meant or mean by saying that. Most of us expected it, but an important detail nonetheless, after they have indicated they will shop in the offseason for a quarterback in the quarterback market, plus in the draft. Cleveland Browns are a dumpster fire. Traded away Baker Mayfield, who is now a star on the Bucs. They paid $250 million for a quarterback who's a lame duck, who's only played 19 games in 3 years. Probably going to lose Myles Garrett. You fired your OC and O-line coach after one fucking football season. Your franchise is an absolute disaster. New York Giants, New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, you guys have been let off the hook by the Cleveland Browns as the worst franchise in NFL. But what do I know? Let's bring in our main man, a Far East Sider, our 317, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Kalen Clark jocking, the guy that held it down yesterday, Big Smitty. Can't hear you, homie. It's in and out, homie. Fuck. It ruins every show, man. Oh, what else? Smitty, you hear me?
You can't hear me, homie?
I hear you now.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Homie, grits and lockjaw?
What's up?
Grits and lockjaw, homie?
What is that?
What's going on, chat, man? We got John Bell, Brandon Hood, Gene, Christian Wafer, Jared, and Izzy all in the chat right now, man. It's going to be a crazy show, as y'all already can tell. But we got to get straight to it, because I think we got a doctor in the building.
Whoa. Broadband.
Whoa, hold on, Kelly. You can't just come in here on some morning. We ain't seen you since the pandemic, homie.
Hey, where she been at, homie? Come in morning blowing bubbles and shit.
You can't just come in there with some bubblicious bubble gum like we ain't saw you since 2019. What's going on, Kelly? You doing yoga somewhere?
Come on, man. Doc is here.
We're gonna dive back into Kelly a little bit later, but we got, like I said, we got a special doctor right here in the building. Who?
No pause. To dive into her? You gonna dive into her? No pause. No pause.
Like topic wise, we're gonna dive into it. Like discussion wise.
I
dive into, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I took it the other way.
How'd you take it?
Like dive in and I hit it. Let's get into the story, because we got Doc coming out, and it's NFL playoff week. And before we get to quote of the day and all that good shit, and another whole introduction that we got that I want to dive into with Smitty, let's bring our main man in. It is Doc Talk Tuesday, man. Dr. Jesse Morse joins us for all things NFL insight. Doc, I got to start with a banger, and this could probably be a video today on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you joining us. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let me start this thing off. This is why I told Smitty all last week. Saquon Barkley and NFL football players, college football players alike, high school football players, once you put the pads on, you should play every allowable game. Every game that comes your way, you should fucking play it. That's just me, old school, whatever. Saquon Barkley passed on a record opportunity to hold the all-time record. I told Smitty last week, he's going to regret this in 6 years. He's going to regret it maybe in 6 days when they lose to the Packers in the first round, because he passed by a record that he could have had, and now his quarterback, Jalen Hurts, possibly won't play, and the Eagles will be knocked out in the first round, and you're going to be sitting there at home like, damn, I don't have a record, and I lost in the first round. Doc, Super Bowls are not guaranteed. Why not go after the record? There's no guarantee you're going to win the Super Bowl. So everyone telling me that, oh, he's going to sit out, JB, so he doesn't get hurt, so they can win a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl ain't guaranteed. The record could have been. The record could have been. And Shaun King made a great point yesterday, Doc. In 6 years from now, when Dr. Jesse Morse representing them and saying, hey, the all-time single-season leading rusher is here. You want to hire him as your face for your brand? It's a lot easier push than it is, hey, the guy that could have got it. You want to hire him? He's made a great point in marketing. I don't know, Doc. I'm just telling you, if Jalen Hurts don't play, which is the question to you, Saquon's going to regret not playing last game.
So I think this was on the Eagles and not him. There's rumblings that he wanted to play.
It makes it even worse to me. Another down black eye on Sirianni if they lose, because Sirianni will be fired immediately if they lose.
How fast?
Immediately.
I mean, obviously the title was there. I mean, they could have done whatever they wanted to do. Yeah, Jalen was going to be out of the game regardless. It's unfortunate. We don't know how many years Saquon has left in the NFL. We saw Derrick Henry do something that is super rare. So that's very hard to replicate. Henry's a special physical beast in terms of size for a running back. But, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to see Saquon do it. The writing was on the wall. They just need to allow him to play. Yes, he could have got injured, just like the Lions could have got injured. Just like Zay Flowers got injured. But unfortunately, I get it from both sides of the coin. It's unfortunate. He probably wanted to win it, but at the same time, respect the team wishes, or however you put it, because I think he would probably rather have a ring than a trophy, whatnot. But you'll never win that debate. I get it. It's unfortunate. I wish both could happen. That would be ideal.
Yeah, unfortunately, those rings are not guaranteed. If they were, I could see you sitting out. But until they are,
I think as far as Jalen is concerned, there's rumblings.
1 second, break it down from the standpoint of how this all works, because I want to be clear from the coaching side as you break down the protocol, so everybody understands and has a clear-cut understanding of why I think this is real issue. Number one, from the coaching side, that Doc is going to tie in with me for everybody out there. He has to clear protocol, and he has to start with basically padless practice in a walkthrough scenario to be able to jump up and go to the next level.
Correct.
It's Tuesday, people. Tomorrow, he's not cleared as of today. Tomorrow, let's say he's cleared. Tomorrow, he has to go in a padless scenario and do a walkthrough as his first practice. That would put him earliest Thursday in shorts.
Right.
I got to tell you, Doc, Thursday, Friday, is that enough time to be comfortable in this being your starter going into
a lot of people message me with this comment. I don't follow the Eagles that closely, so they said Hurts was in the walkthrough on Saturday. I don't know.
He wasn't in a walkthrough, Latrell. Contrary to your belief, I got buddies coaching there. Do you? Anyway, he wasn't in a walkthrough because he wasn't cleared, and he's still not cleared.
Okay, so I'll take that information then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go through the scenario. He needs,
you would have violated
so the concussion protocol is 5 days. Day one is usually the first day after the concussion. Presumably, most people take a day, maybe two, to get through that. Means the symptoms are starting to dwindle. The second day is you start to increase, or second step is you start to increase your activity level a little bit. Mm-hmm. If you tolerate the increased activity level and the symptoms either stay the same or get better, then you would, the next day, you can't do it the same day, you would progress to a more what's the word I'm looking for? More sport specific movements. If you do fine that day and do not have worsening of symptoms, ideally you continue to get better, then you will progress to level or stage 4. At stage 4, you are doing even more padded practice. At stage 5, you are full pad, full hit. If you don't have any symptoms and you clear the concussion protocol, and at least one doctor, sometimes two, have to sign off on it, then you can formally be cleared from the protocol. That is the full protocol. It's important to understand, although it's not technically written, it's pretty much inferred, that you cannot clear a step in less than 24 hours. You have 5 days to clear 5 steps. You cannot do it in 4 days, which is why someone who suffers a concussion on a Sunday cannot play on that Thursday, because you can't clear 5 steps in 4 days.
That's why he didn't practice today. That's why everyone out here is talking.
And they don't practice on Mondays. And I mean,
Tuesdays
every week's a little crazy, but in this week, they're likely not practicing on Monday or Tuesday. So that means their first practice will be on Wednesday. So that if he has not physically practiced yet, then Wednesday he can physically start practice on Wednesday. That would be stage 3. Now, if he's already technically practiced but not physically practiced, then maybe they say he's already done that, and now he's on stage 4 on Wednesday, which would allow him to get to stage 5 either on Thursday or Friday. Now, if he has any setbacks, meaning he has any new symptoms, then they're going to stop it for a day and repeat that cycle the next day.
Gotcha.
And this would be one of the... What's that?
Right. That's why it's impossible that he practiced Saturday. He didn't, because he's not cleared today. So he didn't practice.
I think what they were people were probably insinuating is that maybe he went through stage 3 on Saturday, which is possible. Because he's not doing a lot physically, because they weren't doing anything physically.
He just allowed on the field in sunlight again.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Yeah.
But, and the Eagles are really aggressive. Not really applicable to the concussion protocol, but the Eagles are really aggressive with their timelines. Years ago, you may remember Dallas Goedert suffered, I think it was a knee or something, and they brought him back the week before a bye, which is kind of weird. He missed like 3-4 weeks. And then they brought him back the week before a bye, and then they went into the bye. I was like, what the? Almost every team would have brought him back after the bye. The Eagles brought him back before. So it was interesting to see. Each team does a little bit different. The Packers are the opposite. They're very conservative. They will keep people out longer than they need to just to make sure they're okay. Devonta Adams years ago had that turf toe. He missed like a month. That's not common. As bad of an injury as it is. With that being said, I'd probably give Jalen about a 10 to 15% chance of missing. I would be really surprised if he misses this game. Now, people say they're going to let it go. They're going to make sure he clears the protocol. It's the playoffs. That is a separate discussion. I get the money. I get the ratings. There's a reason why we have something called a second impact syndrome, which basically means if you suffer a new concussion before the original symptoms of the concussion, the first concussion, resolve, the brainstem can swell or enlarge, and you can die. It's fatal. Ooh. So that's rare, obviously, but there's a reason why we have things in place. And I'll leave it with this. You can replace your knee. You can't replace your brain.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So, I just think it's a real serious situation. Everything that I've heard is a real deal. Like, this cat is not cleared right now, and it's not like he's right there on the cusp. Like, this is a serious scenario. You have to, as a coach, I'm just telling you, Smitty, as a player, as a coach, my team is asking me who's our quarterback. It's Tuesday. We got to play the Packers. Then Wednesday, we don't see him again, but we just see him standing there. Thursday, maybe he's cleared. He goes out there in shorts. Friday, is that enough time to say, all right,
that's a trauma day, ain't it?
He needs a full day with full pads and full hitting, quote unquote.
But here's the problem no one's discussing. Who's taking the reps right now at quarterback?
Exactly.
Probably Pickett.
Well,
but he's got a rib fracture.
Didn't Pickett get hurt too? So it's the other guy probably.
Well, it could be McKee, but we know that Pickett was. Pickett, before this game, before the last game, Pickett had a rib injury. He received a pain-killing injection, of those cortisone, or if that was tramadol, Toradol, I don't know, probably Toradol, but if I were to guess, or they maybe did a block. At remember he had that re-injury? At halftime, he had another one. Then he never returned, even though he was technically eligible. McKee came in and ended up doing good, and then obviously he played in this game, even though I believe Pickett was technically active.
Okay,
technically active, but I don't think he played in this game.
Probably is the guy taking the reps right. Well, we'll be taking the reps.
I mean, because ribs suck. I mean, ribs are awful.
But to
ribs
your
are very
point,
frustrating, except for a quarterback.
Pickett's gonna be taking the reps all damn week. Hurts. Let's say he pops back in Thursday, Friday. At that point, the game plan's already kind of. It's been. We didn't work it. We didn't.
But
I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, all you guys out here that are fans and don't understand all that's going on in Sirianni's head and that team's head, you guys are crazy if you think this is going to be a walk in the park. This is a very serious matter. What quarterback's taking reps? Then when Jalen comes back, do you split the reps, Doc? Because if Jalen Hurts goes in, let's just say we give Jalen the next 2 days of reps, and he goes in the game in the first quarter and gets a concussion knocked out again, I got to go back to the guy that I stopped giving reps to on Wednesday and Thursday. See what I'm saying? These cats have no clue about how this thing works. Now I got to pick or choose here, in my opinion.
And then the next question becomes, who's a better choice, McKee or Pickett, who has a rib injury?
I'm just saying, if I'm Sirianni, I got to make a decision, Doc, by tomorrow latest, on who's going to get the reps going forward, and that's it. That's my cutoff.
Yeah, because I think that will also give us an idea of how he's doing in the protocol. You know, right now he can't clear it. There's no practice. He can't clear it even if he wanted to. It don't matter. Unless they decided to add a Tuesday practice, you cannot clear it on a day that you don't have practice. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Let's hey Bailey, when do they play? Are they Sunday or Saturday?
I think they're Sunday. They're Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He got lucky with that.
That actually helps them out there. I thought it was a Saturday game, so they get some
Doc, can we transition to their opponent, Jordan Love? Where are we at with Jordan Love?
So Love took a elbow or a helmet to the elbow. He just irritated, likely had a little swelling around the ulnar nerve, your funny bone nerve. He had a little numbness and tingling in his hand. Probably couldn't feel his hand for a while. And then he was throwing on the sidelines. They almost brought him back in the game. He ended up, they didn't need to, but he almost did. He'll be fine. He'll be fine for this week. It was just more, similar to Purdy the week before, kind of, or 2 weeks, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. It was similar to that, but he got lucky. It could have been a lot worse. He got lucky. Unfortunately, Christian Watson on the end didn't, and he ended up tearing his ACL. Probably among other things, we don't have specifics yet. Is this compensation from his hamstring things? Is this compensation from him not wanting to put a lot of weight on the other knee for the bone bruise? I don't know. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. But the data, I posted the data last night for the last 18 wide receivers that have torn their ACL and came back. The only one that was even mediocre, the only one that was good was Chris Godwin. And he struggled for about the first month, and then he went on fire for the last month and a half or 2 months, whatever it was. But the other 17 look awful. Yes, they're not blue chip prospects, but guys like Pickens, guys like Jamison Williams, like those guys had one in college, and then the first year they didn't really do a whole lot in the NFL. So there were some elite guys that did not do stuff in their first year. So now we have a lot of guys, Stephon Diggs, who's training nearby. We've seen some good videos of him training. We now have Tank Dell, which is a whole separate monster, right? That's a knee dislocation. That's a separate monster altogether. You have Berrios. You have Treylon Burks, who had a partial ACL tear, but just the same treatment. Mm-hmm. So there's a ton of guys that are now coming back from ACL from a wide receiver perspective that we'll have to see how they do for 25. And there's a couple of tight ends, and Jonathan Brooks is right now the only wide receiver or running back. But you could see, Gallup was a big name. OBJ, obviously a big name. Wandale, Sterling Shepard has been pretty good. None of them were good in the first year. Look, this is first year data. It's awful. It's awful. It is not good at all. The only one that was good was Godwin, and it's really the second half of the season that he pulled himself out. Cortland Sutton is an elite player. He struggled. Woods was a good player for several years. So this is a tough injury for every position. Unfortunately, especially for running backs and wide receivers. It's tough. It takes a year to trust that stupid knee again, regardless of whether or not you drafted him or bet on him or you like him. You'd like it to be perfect. Unfortunately, it's very hard to come back.
You mentioned Zay Flowers a little bit briefly already, and obviously, I'm a Ravens guy. I'm a Ravens fan. I've been believing in them, picking them to win the Super Bowl. Zay Flowers is going to be a big piece of that.
Yeah.
What's the severity of his injury? What are you hearing about that?
So this one was kind of a weird play. Initially, when we saw him on the sidelines, he kind of pushed through, and we're like, okay, did he injure it as he was running? But if he did it while he was running, I'll say, okay, that could be an ACL because it basically just gave out. But when they slowed it down and he actually was rolling, there was a guy that jumped across him and basically clipped his knee.
Ooh.
So that's essentially what happened. It was I think it was Cleveland, right? It was one of the Cleveland players that was trying to avoid him, but just barely scraped him. But unfortunately, and here's where I just couldn't see the angle. There's two possibilities. They called it a knee sprain, but that's a waste bucket term. There's 50 different diagnoses you can have. There's two things that I could see. One, it's either an LCL injury because his MCL or the inside got hit, which basically puts the force over here, or his kneecap got pushed. I can't see because it happened so quickly in the angle. I just can't tell which one is which, or both. If the patellar got pushed, he didn't have likely a patellar dislocation, which would mean that it literally went over here.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to walk on it because the kneecap doesn't sit upright and your knee collapses. What likely would have happened is he injured it to the point where it kind of pops out for the next couple of weeks on its own. That's what happened to Mahomes several years ago, if you remember, when his lineman clipped him.
Yeah.
That's what happened to him. It could be that. It also could be an LCL. Okay, LCL in this whole posterior lateral corner is rare, very rare. This is what happened to Rashee Rice. Okay, to give you an idea. Rashee Rice was weird. There was that also Mahomes situation, but so we don't know. This could be a week. This could be a month. This could be anywhere in between.
Damn.
He's a very shifty guy, and so the question depends on A, how it heals up, and B, how confident he feels when he's trying to laterally go back and forth, because you're asking that knee to handle all those stresses and changes of movement, which is obviously difficult for that
If he
joint.
takes the shot, Doc, if he takes the shot, what's the risk of making it worse?
He can tear his ACL. He can tear his ACL if this is a collateral ligament injury. If it's patellar tendon or patella, I'm not as worried.
Okay.
You can wear a brace. You've probably seen those braces that basically hold that kneecap in place like this.
Yeah.
The issue with the collateral braces that you see the linemen wear, those huge.
I hate them. I wore them in college. I hate them.
They won't. The what I call the skill position players won't wear those. They don't like those. They're too big and bulky. Other knee hits it. It's just not comfortable.
Yeah.
It would be great, but it's not realistic. They
I
won't.
throw my meniscus with one of those on.
They do a good job for like chop blocks and stuff like that, but they're not. You're not going to run a route,
right,
and cut on a dime 20, 30 times with that big bulky brace on. It's just not realistic. So he's out this week regardless. In my opinion, he's out this week. We'll revisit it if it's applicable the following week.
Doc, so fuck the Ravens. What about my Rams? Blake Corum doesn't play a lot, Doc, but he is the backup to Kyron Williams, who's been one of the better running backs in the NFL this year.
Yes.
Blake Corum broke his forearm, I believe.
Yep.
So he's done.
Myself.
Right? No
He's done. He's done. He
chance.
needs a plate and likely a plate and screws. This is what Anzalone had. Remember the kid who just came back for the Lions? This is likely what he had. He had a forearm fracture. Best case scenario, it's 3 weeks. Like everything has to go perfect. It has to be a perfect fracture, which is probably not realistic because he's literally carrying the ball, although we don't know which arm it was.
And
He's out. In my opinion, he's out. It doesn't matter really, unless even if they make the Super Bowl, he's really risky.
And I'm just talking running backs that are in the playoffs. Aaron Jones, I know he suffered a little bit of something. Is he okay?
He had a quad contusion, which is much better than a quad bruise strain, which is like a hamstring strain. Quad bruises are annoying, but they're fine. These guys play through them. They'll be fine. You wouldn't even know what happened.
All right. And I know back to the Packers, I know Jordan Love, he's banged up. He loses one of his best weapons, and Christian Watson, he's done, right, with ACL?
Yeah, Watson's done. Dobbs, I think it's Dobbs, he'll be back. He had illness, so I think he'll be fine. They're going to have to shift. Reed needs to hold on to the ball and be the guy that they know he can be. Jacobs needs to be the guy he can be. Kraft can be effective. They need to get Dontavian Wicks. They need to get so they have plenty of weapons. They just need to put it all together and put a game plan together.
No doubt.
As far as a couple more guys that need to be discussed, the Chargers are a little banged up. Gus Edwards hasn't played. Dobbins tweaked his knee, ended up coming back. I think partly because he had a huge bonus that he needed to reach. But he ended up playing. But he tweaked his knee, so we'll have to monitor that. Josh Palmer's been dealing with a heel injury that they considered putting him on IR. I haven't seen an update on that. And then Ladd McConkey, we didn't know if he was going to play this game due to seeding and stuff. He ended up playing, had a great game. He's been banged up with probably a turf toe. And then the Bills, Amari Cooper, I think he just basically sat out because he didn't need to play. Stupid decision on my Patriots, but that's a separate discussion for a separate day. I won't live that one down, unfortunately. And then Mike Evans, shout out to him. Baker worked his magic, ended up coming back in. It was a little risky, but they wanted him $3 million bonus. That's a crazy bonus.
$3 million is a hell of a bonus.
But he tied Jerry Rice for the most 1,000-yard seasons ever.
That's huge.
I mean, let's talk about this for 1 second because it's underappreciated.
Yes.
What is a 1,000-yard season? Oh, everybody can get 1,000. What does that mean? That means you have to be healthy for at least 13 to 14 games.
Yes.
You cannot miss more than 3 or 4 games in a season, especially with 16 games. He's done it 11 years in a row.
And remember, he had a hamstring issue earlier this year, too.
He missed almost a month with a hammy.
Yes.
And he's been playing with a calf as well. I mean, he's probably playing with a bunch of stuff, but that's what we know about. Remember, years ago, he got suspended for a game. Like, this guy, he went from Jameis to whoever was there to Brady, now to Baker. Like, this dude he's a stud. Like, unless you chop off his leg, he will be out there. Like,
hey, I'll be honest, man. I recruited him with 2 of his teammates. 2 of the other teammates play with me and Alan that's in the chat right now. He's probably a better human.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
You see that, and I see it from a longevity because I see so many injuries. It's like, oh, yeah, this guy's going to, like, but to do it 11 years in a row, like in the NFL as a receiver, like a quarterback. Okay, we saw Stafford go on his crazy run. Brady had his crazy run. You know, so who just did it? Allen just did his crazy run the other day. But as a wide receiver, as an alpha, like a 1, like that's rare. That's very rare. Yeah. So money regardless, that's a very, very impressive feat.
And multiple quarterbacks. He's done it with whoever's there. It doesn't fucking matter.
It don't matter. Just get him the ball. Shout out to T. Higgins. He played the last at least 2 games with a high ankle sprain, but you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. He was so effective that he wasn't just a decoy. He actually was effective. Remember the game before the last game? He was freaking went on fire.
In the game.
You know,
his money sense. He keep him in Cincinnati somehow. Figure it out.
If they're going to have to move mountains and make a lot of money move in order for that to happen. If not, he will be the highest paid receiver. I would love to see him come to my Patriots, but I don't think unless they can't afford him some way, they're gonna. I don't think he wants to play with another quarterback, which I don't blame. But and shout out to Joe Burrow, at least for his ability to come back from a pretty bad wrist injury that we didn't have any data on for an NFL quarterback anyway. And the dude just was like nothing ever happened. Remember that early, or the first or second game they lost to the Patriots, and then he was like struggling to pick up a water bottle. Remember that?
Doing this, yeah, I remember that.
And then it's like, what? He's like, it's like nothing ever happened. It's crazy. So I mean, there was a 20% chance this lingered. Well, I don't think, at least not yet. I mean, so far so good.
Before you get out of here, any other major injuries in this first wild card matchup round that you could
Cade Otton has been dealing with knee injury for a while, and I don't know if I don't know if he hasn't been able to come back. Durham Payne has been doing pretty good, so we'll have to see with that. Besides that, there's no other major red flags with anyone. Dallas Goedert came back and played in the last game after his knee injury. Besides that, everyone else is
Jayden Daniels, is his ribs good? No, ain't no issue with the ribs no more with Jayden Daniels? You heard anything about him?
He should be fine by now. He struggled in the last game. I don't know what that was, but he struggled.
What about the running back? Is he back? Is he going to be able to play?
Which one?
What's Eckler?
Yeah, he came back the last game.
So they
cleared him for the last week. Yeah. So that's rare because. So actually, that's a good point. They brought Eckler back, but Olave didn't come back. Now Olave I think he has 5, if I remember on record. They obviously weren't going anywhere. He was practicing but didn't get activated. I don't know if this was him or the team or whatever, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. One more elephant in the room, or at least we need to mention, is the re-injury to Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah. And so we're going to talk about him as a non-playoff quarterback. Make sure you touch on Tua's hit before you get out of here. So those two real quick.
So long story short, unfortunately, Achilles injuries are bad injuries. Quarterbacks, they're actually really rare. Last year was an anomaly. Obviously, you had both Cousins and Aaron Rodgers both came back fine, technically fine, although both struggled in my opinion. Cousins may get better. I think Aaron Rodgers is time to hang it up. The problem with Watson is we don't know exactly the setback. Did he just have a little infection secondary to a suture not healing or whatever? That's possible. Did he not cooperate with rehab, push it too quickly, and elongate the new tendon too fast? That's the problem. If he did that, he might need surgery again. And in my opinion, that would be career ending.
Career ending, for sure, 25 ending.
Unless it was super mild, 25 is over right now.
Right now.
Yep.
This is the biggest fucking mockery organization.
Yeah. I mean, you saw, and this is his power leg. So this is Cousins versus Rodgers. Remember, Watson's had bilateral ACLs. Bilateral ACLs. So, and now he's got an Achilles. He's had that crazy shoulder injury. He also had the bad rotator cuff injury before the shoulder injury. So, in my opinion, he doesn't have, his body's not healthy enough to compensate. What happened to J.K. Dobbins when he was coming back from his ACL? He put too much weight on his other foot and tore his Achilles.
Right.
So you have compensating injuries. Achilles are frustrating injuries that you saw. Why did Penix look so much better than Cousins? Because Cousins couldn't do anything because he couldn't get out of the pocket. He couldn't do run play RPOs because he's not mobile enough to do an RPO consistently.
Yeah.
You know, why Rodgers was his front leg and he still struggled. You know, was it because of his Achilles? Was it age? Whatever it is, like, you know, that's part of the problem, right? Thank you, Miles, for the shout out to the supplements. But in general, you know, the other thing that I got to go in a second. The other thing that we need to talk about is Tua. Okay, so the elephant in the room for this situation that I was concerned about when he came out of college is that hip fracture dislocation is ridiculously rare. Okay, in general, it's rare would be an understatement. Super rare. They moved mountains for him.
Yeah. They
life-flighted him to the top orthopedic trauma surgeon in the country in Houston to fix his hip. Justifiably so. He ended up making it high in the draft and he's had a good career so far. But it sounds like that hip is bothering him again. We don't have specifics, but it is confirmed to be the same hip. I knew if he made it to the NFL, obviously, which he did, I said I have concerns about his longevity of this hip. You will have arthritis in this hip way earlier than if you didn't fracture, dislocate your hip. He's going to have loosening of those ligaments and tendons. That may be where we're at now.
Damn.
You saw Tyreek go on his little tirade because now he's not playoff relevant anymore.
They might as well just drive down the freeway and throw fucking $200 million on the freeway and let everybody else get it. That's what they did. All right, Tua's a hip real quick. I know Tyreek's leaving because
he just said that. He just did Tua's whole hip breakdown.
That's not what I'm asking. Tua's hip, was it the reason Tyreek Hill's leaving Miami in your opinion?
I think everything has to go perfect for them to be relevant in the playoffs. And this Saturday will be a year from the beating they took, and in my opinion, they never recovered from last year. Yeah. When they were in that frozen tundra, if you remember.
And Tyreek shitbird on top of it. So then you add
not only that, he's had that wrist injury. Okay, we'll give him that. Whether or not how significant it is, we don't know. Until, in my opinion, they will not be playoff relevant until he's on a different team. Yes, he made a ton of money. But now he's made the money, does he want a ring or another ring or however you want to look at it? Like, in my opinion, he wants to play now, and he can't.
I'm glad they didn't let him.
As good as he is or bad, it don't matter. If your team doesn't make the playoffs, it don't matter. You can only go to the same BART so many times.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can do that in February, March, April, May, June. But if you want to play in January, there's only so much you can do. But you have to put with guys around you. That's why DeAndre Hopkins went to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right? He took less money or whatever to go with the team that he knew was going to make it. He didn't worry about that.
Yeah. Doc, we'll have you Friday. Hopefully nothing else happens, but hopefully it'll be a Jalen Hurts discussion if he is cleared or not cleared on Friday, and we can dive into that with you. Appreciate you. Be safe out there. We'll see you Friday. All right, Doc.
Real quick, let's do quote today real quick. Knock it out by BetUS. Use promo code JB and get 150% bonus up to $2,000 plus protection and insurance. JB, what do we have for quote of the day? Kelly is back. She needs something good. She ain't been on the show since the pandemic. Give her the best quote you can think of. Go.
I'll give her something good. Quote of the day. I don't have attitude problems, Smitty. You have a problem with my attitude, and that is not my problem. Let me say it again for everybody out there. Let me say it again for all the retards in the chat. I don't have an attitude problem. You have a problem with my attitude, and that is not my problem.
Top 3 alert. Ring. Top 3 alert. That's your top 3 all-time quote you've ever said. Delivery, bars, impact, meaning, quality, everything right there. That's top 3 all-time. Best one of the new year.
I'm glad Smitty got a criteria for the quotes of the day. We put it on a T-shirt maybe. Smitty's criteria for my quotes of the day. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there right now. You want to get some DFS in the NBA that nobody watches. Anything with hockey that a couple people watch. Smitty especially is going to break down hockey later. And whatever else is out there right now. Golf, I guess. Contrary to belief, the truth sounds crazy in a world full of lies.
You in your bag today. You in your bag like a Five Guys burger and French fries. Hell yeah.
Contrary to belief, the truth sounds crazy in a world full of lies, don't it? Because when I tell the truth, it's crazy. Oh, you crazy, motherfucker? I was told I'm crazy yesterday. Well, I told him. Truth sounds crazy in a world full of lies. I just spit it off the top of my head, and I had to use it today, Smitty, because you're going to hear it today on All the Smoke. Poll question, Smitty. I'm going to give you 2. And I'm going to let you pick the one we're going to discuss.
Before you say it, look in the chat before you say it, though, and then go from there.
I don't see it. What's in the chat?
I'm just showing you the messages that are popping up in the chat.
I got to catch up. There's so many I missed a lot.
Well, let's get to the last. Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Nice Smitty in your bag.
Oh, damn. Hold on. That's like, you way behind. That's like yesterday when Betty said that. Nice Smitty in your bag?
Oh, you're talking about in the private chat.
Oh, yeah, the private chat.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was actually on the same page with Bailey. That's what I was going to tell you. Let's do that.
Oh, let's go. Let's do that then.
Real quick, because I got another little topic to bring up with you real fast.
Let's do it.
And it's on our thumbnail, Smitty. Burrow is buried. Have the Bengals buried Joe Burrow beyond recovery?
Say that again 5 times fast. Bengals buried Burrow beyond recovery.
Burrow is buried. Have the Bengals buried Joe Burrow beyond recovery? Joe has had some setbacks with injuries. Yeah. Yes. He has had some horrific O-lines. And he's had some bad defenses. Yet continues to show us he is a top 3 pure passer in this game right now. And one of the most accurate passers in the game. He also has 2 legit-ass wide receivers. Let's not forget about it. And it takes 2. It takes 3 to tango, they say, in the NFL. He also has a very good tight end. Got rid of Mixon and has still had one of his best years to date. But again, this team missed the playoffs, Smitty, and now we'll be wondering, what if? What if they win those 2 games in Baltimore? What if they beat that Kansas City Chiefs team in Kansas City that they had won? They had beat. Smitty, Joe has been to a Super Bowl already, and that is what Lamar and Josh are chasing. Can one of these guys do it now that Joe is out, sitting at home in Acapulco, in, Bali, wherever Joe is? What is next for the Bengals, Smitty, is my question to you real quick. I think they have buried him in a sense, but I love the fact that he keeps showing up, playing regardless. If he's hurt, if he's injured, he tries to go. But half of it's Joe Burrow being injured, half of it's the organization not shoring up the O-line, not shoring up that defense, because we've seen other teams do it in a cap-friendly environment, Smitty. The Chiefs do it every year. The 49ers have been doing it. The Rams did it to win a Super Bowl against that Burrow-led Bengals team. Why can't the Bengals figure it out? That's the topic I want to talk about just for a couple minutes before we dive into the poll question.
Well, listen, man, a couple things here. One, I know it's still early and I might be, too soon on this, but as of right now, based upon the current information that we have, it looks like Joe Burrow is going to end up being the modern-day Dan Marino or Phillip Rivers or whatever really good to great quarterback that you watch who was really good, got all these numbers, got all these stats, but for whatever reason, just didn't have the support, the team, the organization, whatever, to actually win. The Bengals, as an organization, for years has been bad. Even you go back to the T.J. Houshmandzadeh, Chad Ochocinco days as well. Just didn't have the full support. You always heard these crazy stories about how cheap the owner was when it came to spending money, taking care of their players and the facilities, etc. And I believe they've had the same ownership for till now. They still have it. So it's like you're seeing a lot of the same things. I posed this question the other day, and I said, listen, whatever era, whether it's the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s, whatever era you grew up, when you looked at those great quarterbacks of that era, you never was worried about them missing the playoffs. You never was worried about Aikman missing the playoffs, Joe Montana missing the playoffs, Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. If they were healthy, they were making the playoffs. The fact that Burrow has been so good, especially this particular season, some people have him in the MVP conversation, and they're not in the playoffs is a problem. I saw that stat there. It was like a quote, I think, on that graphic that J.J. Watt was responding to about saying, this blows my mind. The Bengals currently have the NFL leader in pass yards, reception yards, and sacks, and they missed the playoffs. Like, that's insane to think about that. It doesn't even really make sense. If you told me before the season that they would lead in those categories, there's no way in hell I would say they're missing the playoffs. So something has to change, because as a fan of Burrow, it's a shame to not see this talent in the playoffs. It's a shame we can't see Jamar Chase, arguably the best receiver in the league, between him and Justin, not in the playoffs. And what do they do to move forward? I mean, shit, I don't know. They need to get that defense better. So hopefully in the draft, they get some guys who they feel like can beef up the defense immediately. But beyond the draft, they need to spend some actual money in free agency and get some guys who can come up there and be elite on the defensive end and really really solidify that side. I said it before, and I don't know where they get the money from or how they can restructure it, but Joe Burrow has made it clear he wants T. Higgins on his team. He wants to keep his weapons. He wants that, there's nothing like having two great wide receiver options, because you can't double both, because, you're leaving guys open. So I just feel like, man, I'm concerned that he may be buried, because I don't think they're going to play T. Higgins. I don't trust that they're going to solidify that defense, because they haven't done that to this point. So it's just the Bengals are going to bangle. And now I'm looking back to them. That's my last little statement. I wonder if the Super Bowl that they went to was just a fluke, and I'm not saying it to damage deter like Joe Burrow's greatness. I'm a Joe Burrow fan, but just a fluke for the organization, a fluke year, a fluke, like things just everything had to go right for him, because I don't see him getting back in the Super Bowl anytime soon as is.
Let me break down some facts for everybody out there that's listening. First of all, I take Burrow 1,000 days over Mahomes. Out of 1,000 days, I take Burrow every day, all day over Mahomes. That's me, number one. Number two, we can sit here and talk about Burrow on this side and not talk about Mahomes on the other side, meaning this. Mahomes has benefited from solely a great defense the last 2 years that nobody wants to talk about. If you take the Chiefs defense and you put it in Cincinnati, Cincinnati is who we're talking about today, not Kansas City. Let's fucking be clear here. Burrow had all that on offense. To your point, all these things were supposed to be playoff worthy. Well, if I flip the script and go over to Kansas City, to Burrowhead, and I go, hey, you have no offensive weapons. All this talk about Mahomes having no offense. Guess what? Because they had the best defense. So yes, Smitty, defense matters. It doesn't matter how many pretty toys you have on offense if you have to score 50 a game. Their defense is horrific. But on the Chiefs side, their defense is unbelievably good. Now let's talk about Hendrickson leading the NFL in sacks. He has no other counterpart on the other side. The D-line is horrific. He's done this without any other pass rusher on that front. Another reason why their defense is so bad and how good he's been. But if you look at Kansas City, when you have Chris Jones and these other guys that are contributing to take pressure off the back row, which suffers in Cincinnati because they get no pass rush, and they have one guy who got 17 and a half sacks that leads the league, and nobody else, it's really easy for me to game plan against that type of defense, Smitty. There's two things, Smitty. I either run at Henderson or run away from him. Yeah. It's real simple. Whatever you want to talk about. They have no other help on defense. The offense can be as great as you want, but you can't stop a cold butt naked in Alaska, then you're going to be having a problem. Cincinnati solely has an issue on defense, and that is a organizational failure and a head coaching failure. When you're a head coach OC and are worried about pretty things that glitter and flash and all this, and you're worried about Jamar Chase holding out in preseason and T. Higgins contract negotiations, you're not worried about what's on defense that wins you games. And that is a head coaching failure because you're an OC mentality offensive play calling guy in Zach Taylor who only wants to score points. But now, guess what? They've said Zach's coming back. And what does Zach do? He fires his DC. So, of course, you're going to fire the DC. And now we have a problem in Cincinnati. I don't believe is repairable because Joe Burrow continues to age, and now that team needs too many parts to become elite again. And that one year that they went to a Super Bowl, why don't you guys go look at their defense? Pretty fucking legit. Their defense was really, really good in Cincinnati. They had fucking 2 big-time pass rushers, 2 big-time D tackles, 2 legitimate linebackers, and 2 guys in the back row that can cover your 1 and 2. They don't have any of that this year in the Super Bowl or in the NFL. And that is why that game was close against the Rams, who had an unbelievable offense headed into that Super Bowl. Right. Because if you remember, that game was close.
It was.
So nobody wants to talk about the facts, and that's the problem.
I think you laid out a lot of truths right there. I guess my only pushback or just different angle or whatever is that I hear all that, but the all-time greats still figure it out. I remember watching Peyton Manning a lot of years.
Hold up. I'm glad you mentioned Peyton Manning because let's be honest, you've mentioned this to me. You've thrown this back at me. I've talked to you about Lamar Jackson not winning. Your excuse is, whoa. Peyton Manning had all these years. So is it not the same for Joe Burrow? Peyton Manning hasn't won a Super Bowl yet either. Joe Burrow is actually ahead of Peyton Manning. He actually went to one before Peyton Manning.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not like over. I'm not like saying it's a wrap. It's over. I'm just saying.
But you said it earlier. You said it's kind of he missed the window. I'm like, well, hold on. Peyton Manning didn't do nothing for 8 years.
No, that's fair. So, I think it's more so I don't trust the Bengals organization though. And if he's gonna be there, which I think he will be, it's just hard for me to really believe and fully trust in the organization is going to do right by him. You know what I'm saying? The reason I bring up Peyton Manning, though, is for a lot of years, the coach didn't have like a great defense. We had like names on there, but if you look at like where we ranked the top defenses, we didn't always have like the great defenses. And Peyton Manning still made the playoffs at least. Now, the year we won the Super Bowl, our defense fucking balled out in the playoffs, and that's what got us over the hump. But in terms of this regular season, we didn't have to worry about getting to the playoffs. So I still got to put a little bit of blame towards Joe Burrow because at the end of the day, the difference between him and Mahomes, and I get why you said you would pick Burrow over Mahomes. I understand what you're saying. Although I disagree, though, is because Mahomes figures out a way to win. Even in those close games when it's late in the game and maybe defense, took their foot off the gas or whatever the case may be, Mahomes finds a way to win. He has the it factor. Not saying Burrow does not have it. I just don't think he has it to the same degree, same level as a Patrick Mahomes. So that's my difference between him and Mahomes.
I don't agree with that because I've also seen Chad Henne be plugged in there and figure a way to win in Kansas City.
For a game. I mean,
Smitty, if they don't win that game, they're not in the fucking Super Bowl.
I get it. It's important. I'm just saying, but it's a game, though. I'm saying we see Mahomes.
And guess what? Guess who's in the Super Bowl? Or guess who's playing in this title game? The Jags. And now Peterson probably has a job, and we're sitting here talking about Sunshine as being a guy that, he got to a Super Bowl or he got to an AFC title game already. Because remember, the Jaguars were this close away that year. Like, people don't want to talk about that. So, like, it's just very, very finite in how all this pieces to the puzzle works in the NFL, because it's so hard to win. And I'm going to be honest, you take fucking Burrow out of Cincinnati, they're a one-team win team.
For sure.
Kansas City, you put in Carson Wentz or whatever, they're still a 10. They're still a 10-win team, I'm saying at least.
I disagree.
Yeah. With that defense, Smitty, they're still a 10-win team.
8, 9.
But you see my point. It's not.
But listen, last thing, the Lions defense has been abysmal this year, but they just outscore you. So my point is, I hear what you're saying with everything we're saying right now. Everything you said is great. It's true.
That's cap.
But the great still find a way to win, though. You got to get
the Lions defense being abysmal. The Lions defense abysmal is cap. The Lions defense was pretty fucking good for most of this year. And when they have to play big-time teams like the Minnesota Vikings for a title the other day, their defense showed up.
That's a game.
That's why their defensive coordinator is getting head coaching interviews right now. I'm just telling you, their defense is pretty fucking good, and they've been riddled with injury. They've been as riddled as the Niners and the Rams. So, like, I'll be honest, their defense is still pretty fucking good. But let's dive into this real quick before we go to our commercial, Smitty. I got 2 poll questions. I'm going to let you in the chat decide which one we're going to talk about real quick. Smitty, do you want to talk about, do you pay Brock Purdy in Frisco? Poll question. Or do you want to talk about top landing spot for Tyreek Hill? Which poll question do you want? Go right now. You pick it.
Me, I prefer to talk about the black man. I prefer to talk about the future Hall of Famer, the guy who's one of the best.
I want to talk about the white guy then.
Ever do it, Tyreek Hill. So I'm with Tyreek.
I'm gonna talk about the white guy then.
Chad, what do y'all want? Members only. What do y'all want? 1 or 2? Tyreek or Purdy?
They want to talk about Tyreek. Fuck it. Tyreek. Shitbird Tyreek. Where does he land? I don't give a fuck. I really don't, because, again, I believe addition by subtraction is a real thing. Again, if we want to talk about pure football and what team he makes better and what team I want to see him on, just because I'm selfish and I want to see a kid I know ball and I want to see a team I know become pretty fucking scary, I would like to see him go to Washington. So I got McLaurin and I got Tyreek Hill with Jaden Daniels. I can run a multifaceted offensive set, similar to what Baltimore's doing. They have a good run game. They got Zach Ertz balling again, looking young as he was in Philadelphia. Yes. Their defense is good enough to hang in there. I like Tyreek in Washington with Jaden Daniels and McLaurin. That is where that's the team I could see it. That's the team I could see. Go where you like them.
I like the LA Chargers. You bring them out here to the city, man. I think you put them there with the Chargers. I think you change that team from being a playoff contender to a Super Bowl contender. I still think they're one weapon away. You put them on the opposite side of McConkey, who I think is a star in the making, with Justin Herbert, who has a huge arm. I said this yesterday. Justin Herbert has never had a receiver like Tyreek. He's had great receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, but they're different. Bigger body type, jump over, go get it. Tyreek is a gadget guy, so to speak, who's faster than everybody on the field, still strong. You can put him in motion. You can do a lot with Tyreek. You give Justin Herbert that weapon, I think that takes them over the top, because a hardball-led team is going to have a good defense, good running game, and play physical. Get them Tyreek, real Super Bowl contender.
You bring him to LA, he's going to have.
He's in Miami now. So before you even say that, he's in Miami, homie. It's the same difference.
That's my point, homie. You haven't heard my point.
He just had 1,800 yards the year before when Tua was healthy. So
no, my point.
All right, go ahead.
He just had 9 babies in 12 months.
All right, well, he might have 10 out here. That's cool. As long as he's balling.
He'll have 20 out here.
You got to wrap up.
I'm just telling you, he's going to have 20 babies out here, and a lot of you in the chat may have Tyreek Hill's kid at your house, and you not even know it.
Ooh.
So, just throwing it out there. Go ahead and let that motherfucker come out here if you want.
Would y'all
Yeah, lock
babysit
up your-
Tyreek's kids? All the ladies in the chat. Would y'all babysit Tyreek Hill's kids while he's playing in the game?
Yeah, I think it went over your head, Smitty. I don't think you realize what I just said.
I know what you said. You said his kids at their house, like his kids at their house. You're talking different.
Yeah, that means your girl had his kid and you don't even know it. He gonna fuck with everybody. You better lock up your bitches. Anyway, let's go into commercial. Got a commercial break, Smitty. TJ Riddle, shout out. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we got so much more. Mike McCarthy interviewing in Chicago. And then Jerry Jones saying, I don't want you if you don't want to be here. That's a discussion in itself, Smitty, because I ain't heard Jerry Jones say he wants him. So I'm trying to figure out what's really going on in Dallas. Another fucking shitbird organization since Jimmy Johnson. And that's a great topic to ask Steve Kim because he covers the Cowboys in depth as well. But we're going to take a commercial break. I'm sorry, I didn't mention Scatabo, our main man. Listen, he's coming back to college, so unless he gets NIL pay, he has to clear it with compliance. We're talking, figuring it out. His head coach, Kenny Dillingham, a good friend of mine, trying to figure it out. So, yeah. Anyway, that's why Scatterbo's not on today. We're working it out today to get him on this week. So, just give you an update. JB's lying, bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, we'll take commercial. We'll see you in about. Hold on. Let me make sure something's going on. All right. T-Rich will be on. And Steve Kim's on next. It's T-Rich Tuesday. And we'll see you in about 5 minutes.
What up, man? This is a proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, and it is First Round Performance.
Yeah.
Make sure you head on over to firstroundperformance.com. We got the merch, the gear. They are top-notch company.
High quality, JB. All about the party here. Workout gear, exclusive gear. What's that right there, JB?
By the way, nobody else in the country or the world has this short right here. You can put this short on. It helps your back. It helps your hamstrings, helps your quads as you work out.
What?
You can wear these right underneath your workout shorts or what have you. It's kind of like a girdle, but very, very comfortable. Shorts Against Syndrome. It's SAFS. Go head on over there and check it out. First Round Performance.
JB, they got workout bands. They got ankle weights.
What's this?
What's in that box?
Kind of good.
It's our first time seeing this.
What's this?
I'm nervous. What's that?
It's a 40-yard dash electric timer. You can go get your workout on with the light and the strobe, the whole deal. Firstroundperformance.com.
Oh, you just turned it on, JB.
Bam.
You want that smoke?
Go check it out.
I know you ain't trying to race me,
I
JB.
might race Smitty and smoke him.
You ain't trying to race me. You scared of that life.
Yeah, this is real deal. You guys got to go check it out. Firstroundperformance.com. Head on over there. Proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show.
Nice, JB.
With Big Smitty. And
this is mine, right?
hell yeah. Listen, their premium gear, including the revolutionary SAFS shorts I just showed you, are expertly designed by a leading orthopedic surgeon to align your hips and relieve your pain. It is trusted by athletes and active individuals alike, whether you are pushing your limits with their high-quality resistance bands, as Smitty just showed you, or boosting recovery with the powerful dual-spectrum red light therapy devices that I just showed you. First Round Performance delivers the tools needed to stay at the top of your game. Whether aiming for peak performance or simply wanting to live pain-free, they've got you covered. Visit firstroundperformance.com or shop on Amazon today. They just launched their Amazon store.com, their Amazon store. This is out there, First Round Performance on Amazon. And so go help them out and grab some performance gear today. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yes, sir.
Go First Round.
Go First Round, baby.
The promo code will be Coach JB. So check that out and head on over there today.
Get right, baby. First round, the highest quality.
First round performance. Go get you some merch.
Ooh, I like this shirt. I like this shirt, JV.
Peace. Yeah, we are back in the building. Everybody's still talking about Joy Taylor and Fox. I could give a fuck less. Let's bring our main man in, the Korean Cosell himself, the co-host of Jason Whitlock's show with Fearless, and the co-host of the 3 Knockdown Rule with Mario Lopez. Our main man, Steve Kim, joins us.
Morning.
Morning, Steve. It's going crazy. The world's crazy. Everybody wants to hear about drama that we can't discuss because our main man right here works there. It's unbelievable. I don't need to say, Steve, I don't like talking about everything that everyone else talks about. It's like I don't need to talk about it. I don't really care. Steve and I will talk about it at the Palooza behind Smitty's back, and we'll have a great time laughing about it. So don't worry about us. Steve, what's up, man? Happy New Year. How you doing? We're back in the building.
Good, doing well.
A lot going on, Steve. I gotta ask you right out the gate. The Dallas Cowboys possibly just being a complete dumpster fire as we already know them to be right now. But I know you have a lot of insight with the Cowboys and what's going on there. You have friends that have been there in the organization for a long time. I know you got a buddy doing a documentary on the Cowboys. A lot of things. You've read a lot of Jimmy Johnson, a lot of Jerry Jones. I'm just going to be honest. Rumors are the Bears want to interview McCarthy today. He has an expiring contract.
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones came out and said, well, I don't want you if you don't want to be here. And I'm trying to figure out the conflict of interest or the contradicting statements here, because Jerry Jones hasn't offered this man a contract, to my awareness. And if you don't, why wouldn't he go seek employment somewhere else if he's not going to be re-upped? Like, I'm trying to figure out which side. McCarthy's in a bad spot at 61 years old. He's either going to be a Cowboy or he's going to go shop for the job if he's not re-upped, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem if you're McCarthy. If you go to the Bears, you might get a multi-year guarantee. With the Cowboys, it almost seems like you're a yearly lame duck. And I thought the worst thing to come out of that last game was that Jerry Jones said, I'm going to remain the GM. And I could just hear the people groaning all the way from Texas. They're in the worst spot an NFL team can be. They're not terrible and horrible to a point where you know you're going to rebuild, and they're not elite. They're kind of in that area where they're not. At certain weeks they're okay. The other weeks they're going to lose to the good teams. You win between 6 to 9 games in the National Football League, you're in that mediocre zone, and you have to make a decision. It's like, do we completely tear this down, or do we try to fortify that roster? And I'm just telling you, the Cowboy job is not easy, and I've told this to Whitlock. Every week as a head coach, you have to listen to your owner do a post-game interview, and you have to deal with the guy who thinks he really knows football, who's in charge of personnel, and it's an unworkable job. My view is this: what Jerry Jones is doing to McCarthy is it's like that couple that's been married for a while, and you say, well, if we get a divorce though, but you can't be with anybody else, you can't remarry. As of right now, they are sleeping in separate beds, in separate rooms.
Either be with me or be with nobody, huh?
Hey, Steve, do you equate it to my comparison here? Two of the most historic franchises in all of sports, the Cowboys and the Lakers, are in very similar situations, led by very similar owners right now, and it's impossible to coach. It's impossible to coach either of those teams, is it not?
Well, look, I'll give Jerry Jones credit. He has Lombardi trophies where he was the owner. Jeannie Buss has one bubble title, which has an asterisk to it. Jerry Jones is the patriarch of that ownership. Jeannie Buss had great genes, and I don't mean Levi's. So I think it's a little bit different, but they are stuck in that zone. I look at the Lakers; they're kind of sort of hovering around 500, 7th to 10th seed. They're no real threat to win an NBA title. I've never seen LA be so apathetic towards the Lakers. We really don't care right now.
Me either.
We really don't.
It feels weird.
I know. I haven't discussed it at all. Smitty, I know we got some topics with Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to kind of, we're talking about coaching and ownership, but let's go into kind of college world to Bill Belichick, man. He's been on the road recruiting. Speaking on Bill Belichick visiting him.
Smitty, your mic is horrible. I don't know what's going on with that.
You not hear me?
Now we
better.
Got you. Yeah. So Bill Belichick was on the road recruiting, and basically this recruit here, Xavier, was speaking about, Belichick was telling him stuff that coaches have never told him, showing him stuff about his game, and just telling him stuff about the NFL and the programs come up. I want to ask you guys though, man. I mean, are you guys, he's out here on the road, he's recruiting, he's moving around. Will Belichick shock the world and actually turn his program around? Uh-oh, Steve.
Well, we're going to see what type of roster he puts together. I think anyone that goes to UNC under that administration, they better understand one thing. You better have a willingness to be coached. They're going to be honest with you. I would hope that Belichick does not stray from his core principles, that if he thinks a player is deficient in certain areas, I would hope that Belichick is not afraid of the portal like so many other coaches and just says, you need to get better at A, B, C, and D. This is how we're going to do it. Okay? So that there's going to have to be a specific culture, and there's going to have to be a real high level of coachability with those young players for this thing to work.
Hey, there's some good-looking, long kids as a recruiter. I'm looking at that like, okay, Bill, and I don't know if that's in a high school or if that's portal kids on campus. It looks like a high school. I would look at the facilities and think I saw a broom in the back and some oil on the ground. I love right there. That's a shithole locker room somewhere in some high school in North Carolina, I would assume. I don't know, but that looks like it reminds me of the good old days when you go to these shitholes and recruit them and find gyms, long, athletic kids like this. It's ironic to see Bill Belichick at a high school. I'm sure it's hard to walk into high school as Bill Belichick and then everybody wanting to see you and talk to you about Tom Brady. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's what it is.
That could be his greatest recruiting tool, though.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean,
he's already using them. He's already using them from what I've heard. He's already put them on the phone with several recruits. So I would be doing it too. I mean, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But
you think Brady's helping out Belichick though when he's invested so much into Michigan as well? Or does he just not care because it's not really any conflict of interest because they're not?
Absolutely, he's helping him.
Interesting. Well, we'll see, man. Going to another a big time potential coach here again on the NFL side though is Rex Ryan. We talked about it a little bit yesterday about him getting, I guess, interviewed or with the Jets. And he says that he loves his chances of landing the Jets head coaching job. I think personally it would be a great fit to put him back there in a Jets uniform. That's the last time the Jets was rolling. And got a video right here, actually. Let's go ahead and play it, Bailey.
You think you're going to get this job, right? You think you're going to be the next head coach of the Jets?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely, I do. And the reason I think I'm going to get it is because I'm the best guy. And it ain't close. The thing that you have to do, you have to connect with a football team. You have to connect with your fan base. And the way they play, that's the most important thing. Not just the X's and O's and all that. Look, this Ben Johnson, I love him. I absolutely love him. But I'm a better candidate for this job than he would be.
I fully 100% agree with them. 1,000% agree with them, however you want to use it. I just talked about this last week with Smitty. Not all these guys are head coaches. They do not need to go be head coaches, I don't believe, until they've done it. This guy gets New York. I love the fact that he's confident. That's a PR move that he's doing from his, instructed by his agency. I'm positive of it. He works at ESPN, though. And, Steve, I don't know if owners are still trying to hire guys that have been in the media this long because of what they do in the public eye on the media. I don't know if owners are really excited about that. The reason I say he won't get it. It's probably why he won't get it.
That'd be hilarious if he got the job and the first thing that Rex Rex Ryan receives at ESPN from Ryan Clark and Mina Kimes and that whole crew as well. Here they go, recycling an old white guy. That'd be the ironic part of that whole thing.
Yeah,
you know it's coming. I like Rex. Rex is a character. He's going to bring some guts. He's going to bring fun. He's going to bring great press conferences.
Yeah.
He took some real shots at Aaron Rodgers. He said that country club is closing. I thought that was a real interesting comment.
I love it.
Look, if I'm Ben Johnson, I make sure I go to a team that has a future quarterback or an established one. To me, that's
a young one too, right? Kind of a younger.
Build with Drake May. Okay, I got to find my Jared Goff that can play under center and run some of those old school downhill run concepts off play action. So I don't know if the Jets have that. I don't think they do. So Rex Ryan works because he will win the opening press conference. But now you have to settle the roster. They have a lot of big names. Some of them underachieved. I actually think the Jets have to rebuild all the way from the top. I'm talking about their whole football operation. It has not worked in a very long time. Rex understands the culture and the media, but again, this comes down to players and then organization.
I agree. I don't know. Like even a Caleb Williams, I'm not a fan of, but if I'm Ben Johnson, I want a younger guy that I can possibly in my mind at least mold and change into a guy because he's young, he's got a talent, he's athletic, over an Aaron Rodgers stuck in his way guy that basically off the field antics are more talked about than his on the field ones, and that's when I think you got to give it up and call it quits if you're Aaron Rodgers. But that's a whole other thing. I don't know if you go back to a defensive coach either, Steve, after firing one in Robert Saleh, interim as a defensive guy and a linebacker coach in Ulbrich, and now you go back and hire another defensive guy in Rex Ryan. I don't know if that's going to be the thing they do either. I'm hearing they're interviewing everybody. Like Smitty and I might get an interview. I've heard they've interviewed fucking everybody. And so they're trying to figure it out. They're throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. And it's going to be interesting in New York. Are you surprised with the Giants keeping Brian Daboll?
Yeah, I am. I'm surprised they haven't cleaned house completely. But it's a bad team. There's no quick fix there. And I actually think they take too much heat for letting go of Saquon Barkley.
Really?
They have Saquon. Yeah, they would have won, 2 more games?
I mean, they'll be a better team. That's all I know.
Again, they'd be right in that mediocre apex. They'd be, instead of being a 3 or 4 win team, they'd be a 5 or 6 win team.
I think the problem is, Steve, is that who they chose over him. In essence, they invested into Danny Dimes, who then they got rid of. So it's like,
right. Well, but I still don't think they would have been all that much better. At least now, if I'm Saquon Barkley, I'm sending the biggest bouquet of FTDs over to that organization saying, thank you. Set me free, why don't you, babe? And you did. The one thing about being bad in the National Football League, it actually forces you to realize one thing. We are 1,000 miles away. Okay? The problem is when you win 6 to 9 games, you always think, you know what, maybe we're not that far away. But maybe you are, though.
Yeah. That's how I feel as a Colts fan. Exactly how you just laid out. Where we win 6 to 9 games a year. I feel like I'm closer than what we really are. But in reality, we're probably just as far as the team that might have won 3 or 4 games.
Right. So. I mean, Jimmy Johnson, when he took over in '89, he said, you know what, I could have squeezed out about 5 to 6 wins. We had Randy White, we had Danny White, Ed Too Tall Jones, and he said, you know what, let's just scrap it. Just absolutely scrap it. Let's see who can actually stick around. We have Aikman. We have Michael Irvin. I have one tradable asset, Herschel Walker. Let's parlay that. But Jimmy knew, if I win 6 games in year 1, that might actually hinder the development of the overall organization moving forward. So I'm just telling you, the National Football League, I'd rather be a 2 or 3 win team than a team that wins 6 to 7 to 8 games 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, real quick. The NFL quarterback play overall, Ryan Clark called it the golden era. I laughed and almost spit up my fucking coffee. The NFL quarterback's so bad that multiple teams are going after Joe Milton after his performance versus the Bills. And he didn't even know he was playing until after kickoff, according to reports, multiple ones. And is that ultimately the demise of Gerard Mayo and why he was fired? just a bad operational head coach. Nobody knowing what he's doing. I'm not surprised that he balled out, though, because when you don't know you're playing, it's actually a great mental tool to use. Like, fuck it, go in. Like, he didn't have no time to think about there is in the golden era. So where are you at with this? Where are you at with this whole thing and Joe Milton and the Gerard Mayo firing? I
don't think the Jared Mayo was cooked.
Yeah.
They were going to hold the Mayo long before they won this game. And you just read the reports. You look at what's being written and said by people that follow the Patriots much closer than any of us. That didn't work out. The writing was on the wall. Just a lot of little things that add up to a big thing at the end. When it comes to Joe Milton, you better be careful. This might be a mirage because you know who also didn't know Joe Milton played? His opponent. And this is what you're getting with Joe Milton. Really good athlete, a rocket launcher for an arm. But when I saw him at Tennessee and even Michigan, the ability or the consistency in making the routine intermediate throws, you're going to be really frustrated at times. I think a team that is going to make a play at Milton better realize he is still very much an unpolished diamond, that if you think he's going to be your starter next year right off the bat, be careful with that.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting in the quarterback carousel things out in this offseason because who do the Colts take? Do they go after a wily veteran like Kirk Cousins?
Sam Darnold.
Wait a minute. Whoa. They have a quarterback.
Who?
The number 3 pick from 2 years ago. Are they moving on?
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
What?
It's time to move on, Steve.
Smitty, have you unhitched the wagon to that bandwagon?
Yeah, I tried to stay on. I even went back, forgave him. I tried to go back on the bandwagon, but I seen enough. I wish the kid nothing but the best, though. I honestly do. But he's just not the right quarterback for us.
Broke up.
Steve, listen, you gotta understand. I grew with Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I grew with all-time great. Even Phillip Rivers came in there for a hot second and did well. Like, these are the guys who I had.
Flacco made the playoffs.
Yeah, so I'm not used to this bad quarterback play.
I did not understand. If you look at Anthony Richardson's run at Florida, I remember watching him a little bit because he actually played for Mullen in the beginning. I remember he came into a game against USF. It was in Tampa. And when he came late into this blowout, I said, whoa, what's that? Thank God. And he had this 80-yard run, and I said, that guy might be Cam Newton. Then I saw him throw a little bit, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's a good-looking arm." But the 1 year he started, I think he threw for under 50%.
Yeah.
What the hell was Ballard thinking? You spent a top 3 pick on a quarterback that threw at 50%. That's a fireable offense to me.
We were desperate, Steve. Like hindsight's 2020, but. Those were the quarterbacks in the draft. It was him. It was who's my man with the Titans that got picked up, who's bad as well, who's just as bad.
Will Levis.
Will Levis. Those were the two options.
Will Levis dropped, though. Will Levis dropped all the way out of the first round. Will Levis is Newton Alush. $1 million arm, 10-cent head. Everyone knew it.
Yeah. Nah, it's bad.
Wow, so you're off of AR5.
I'm off, and listen, I'm in the market for a quarterback, Steve. So if you have a good quarterback who can be consistent and can throw the ball on time, have a decent athleticism, let me know, let Indy know.
You know what I would do? This is what I would do then, since Chris Ballard loves his developmental quarterbacks. If I'm New England, hey, Ballard, what's going on? Yeah, family good? Yeah, I don't care. Look, I see that you have a top 10 pick again. I got something for you. I got a guy that has a rocket arm, has a lot of athleticism. Saw what he did in week 17. You know what? Just give us your first-round pick. Joe Milton, he's on his way. That's what you do. That guy will fall for anything.
But if that's the case, I'd rather let's go get Justin Fields then. I'm not saying he's 1,000 times better, but I'd rather go with him than over Anthony Richardson. But the guy who I really want, and we got to see how things shake out. If the Vikings make a dumb decision and do not re-sign Sam Darnold, and he's on the market, we got to go all in. We got to go get Darnold. Because what I'm hoping, Steve, I'm hoping the Vikings actually lose in this first playoff game. I hope they play bad. And they lose, and everybody's panicking, and they're thinking about JJ McCarthy, and that's our opening for us to get Sam Darnold. Because I am now, JB has flipped my mind around. He was right about this. I was completely wrong about Sam Darnold. He is a legit quarterback. I think we got enough evidence.
So I have a question. Does Sam Darnold work as effectively? And again, throw out that last week. He got blitzed. He got harassed. It happens. It's one bad game. But is he as effective in a situation without Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, and Addison? That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of good things that work in Darnold's favor in Minnesota that may not exist in Indianapolis.
Shane Steichen, I think, is a good offensive mind, though. I'm not saying he's O'Connell. I'm not saying that. But from just an offensive mind standpoint, I think he is a good offensive mind. And listen, we don't have any Justin Jeffersons in Indy at all. We have some decent weapons in Josh Downs, Michael Pittman. Alec Pierce had a pretty good year. There's weapons around. They're not Vikings weapons, but I think he could be decent. So I don't know.
Steve, I got to ask you, though, like if you're a GM, and I know Weddle and Sean King have dabbled into those spaces in the GM world in the NFL level. The Tennessee Titans hold the 1 spot, the Browns hold the 2, and the Giants hold the 3. I think New England at the 4 spot has Drake May. I think they're solidified and happy. Jacksonville just signed Sunshine, so they're probably out. The Raiders need a Q. The Jets are in a consideration. Jets have to consider it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 8 picks need a quarterback in the worst quarterback draft in my 48 years of living. What do you do? If you're the Tennessee Titans, who's drafted 2 top 10 quarterbacks in the last 3 years, are you going to make it 3 out of 4 years quarterback that it failed? Or are you going to your point, give up that pick to get a bunch of assets to make my team better, knowing I'm still years away from being good? And the same thing in Cleveland. Deshaun Watson's done again, possibly going to miss all of 25, the biggest debacle in the history of professional sports. Cleveland Browns got to get in, at least in the market, Steve, or draft a guy who I don't think there's a guy available that's going to help your team win. So you're probably going to get into the veteran market. And the Giants, we already know where we are there. So like the first 3 teams, are you going to pass on a QB that's not very good, or are you going to get assets and trade those picks? What are you doing in those top 3 guys, Tennessee, Cleveland, and New York?
Well, I'm seeing reports that Cam Ward might be the number 1 pick. Okay, good for him. I'm seeing a lot of reports now, and JB, me and you talked about this a lot during Football Palooza. When teams start really breaking down Shedeur Sanders, they're going to find a lot of holes in that game. It's amazing that people are thinking, boy, he holds the ball too long. All you had to do was watch one Shedeur Sanders game to figure out he causes half his sacks. And
yeah, I don't see it.
I'm just saying, anyone that picks Shedeur Sanders specifically in the top 5, I think there's a boom or bust potential with that draft choice. I'm not that high on his game, to be honest with you.
I'm not high on any of them. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't see any of the guys that we're talking about in this draft going to any of those teams and helping them right away. So, in my opinion, if I'm a GM, I'm getting assets and building a team, which Chicago should have done last year and kept Justin Fields. They could have Joe Alt right now, Steve, and they could have still got you Dunzy and Keenan Allen. They could have still gotten better with a much better O-line and built around a team with assets. But no, you go after the flashy QB, and now look at this team that's lost 10 or 11 in a row and now fired a coach and now looking to hire a new coach again, and then they're going to be in a top 10 draft pick. I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards the other way, Smitty. Go get some assets. If I'm Tennessee, I look like an absolute incompetent organization if I have to draft my 3rd QB in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Your vision of insanity, right? You just keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. At some point, it's like, all right.
At what point do I get better? Yeah, like what? How about I go get, hey, Cleveland, you're 2. I want Myles Garrett and some picks, and you could have my 1. I'm just saying. And if I'm Cleveland, I don't know what you do. You got a bad deal there. Do I cut bait and just lose the $200 million and get rid of Deshaun Watson, who's probably not going to play in 25 either, and draft a Q? Or do I trade for a Q and use my 2? Here, you want number 2? I need to go get Sam Darnold now. I need to go get Brock Purdy maybe. Something. Steve, where you at with Brock Purdy? Speaking of Brock Purdy, are you signing him if you're Lynch and Shanahan, who's been told they're coming back, they're safe in Frisco, which I'm glad as a Ram fan. I'm glad because they're fucking horrible.
They should be safe.
They've gone to couple Super Bowls. I didn't understand why they were ever.
Come on, JB.
That was even a question.
It's not a question, right?
I know, it's crazy. They still have the same amount of Super Bowl rings I got, though. That's the crazy part.
They've been there, though, so stop it.
Yeah.
Look,
I know.
If you're the Niners,
you're insane.
I think you got to make sure you don't bid against yourself for Purdy. Purdy's a serviceable, solid starter.
So you keep.
Yeah, but at what price? Do I pay him $55-60 million like Dak Prescott? No.
I hear 180 guaranteed is the rumor out there.
All right, for how many years though? What does that average out to?
5. There's no way I do it. I don't do it. That's me. I'm nobody. I don't do it.
Right, but then who do you replace him with? He knows the system. He's been in the system. He's taken to
the guy they should have kept last year. The guy they should have kept, Sam Darnold.
All right, you know what? That's a good point. But the Niners are a team. This is the issue. Their window has kind of run out of the Super Bowl. That's an older team. They got banged up. That trade, Lance trade. That's one of the all-time busts.
Listen, this is
supposed to be your quarterback.
Steve, Smitty, Paris, Bailey, this might be a hot take, but I'm going to stand on business, and I'm standing on it. And you might want to clip this because later on it'll be viral, and Steve's clip's been going viral on our channel lately. I got to be honest. If we want to salvage ayahuasca for one more year and get the most out of a 41-year-old guy who can still spin it, he needs to go home because going home will make you want to play again at an elite level and go 1 year all in. He needs to go be the Frisco quarterback and work with Shanahan because Shanahan needs an Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers needs home to finish his career. I'm just going to stand on it. I think Aaron Rodgers is the only guy that'll make that team relevant again in Frisco. He will be all in my opinion, back home in Frisco, living at home, everything going on there. And Shanahan calling an offense that is similar to what Aaron is used to in Green Bay, very similar systems, same guy. I think that's the only thing if you want to see it. If you're an Aaron Rodgers fan, if you want to see Aaron. Now, if you're not, then Aaron Rodgers needs to retire and walk into the sunset and go hit the peyote or whatever. If not, then Frisco's the only spot that makes sense to me, and that's what I would do.
What would be the goal though? Like if I'm the Niners, if I'm Lynch and I'm Shanahan, if I pick up Aaron Rodgers, am I thinking Super Bowl now, or what am I thinking?
Yeah. That's what. Why else? He's 41. You wouldn't bring him in.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, what is he showing? I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, but what did he show you? What did he show you this year that's gonna make you think, that was the missing piece? Like Purdy wasn't there.
You didn't listen to what I said. I said if you're gonna do it, that's the only reasonable spot for him because I think his investment would change, Smitty, going home. You know how it is when you see that fine girl, your whole mindset changes. Oh shit, now I'm motivated again. What is going to motivate Aaron Rodgers? Not money. He's got it all. Nothing else. He's world famous. Go home and ball out 1 year. You could never beat the Niners. Might as well join them.
That's a 1 year thing though.
So you do 1 year and then lose Purdy?
Yeah, then who's your quarterback?
And then what?
Come on, man. The McVay, who owns Shanahan in the postseason and has a Super Bowl, by the way, he did it. I'm just saying, he got Stafford for 1 year and got it done. Like you got to
give him 1 year, and
Stafford's been there for 4 years
still rolling in his prime.
I know, but they can walk away right now into the sunset with a ring on their finger, knowing they made a trade to get a guy to win that one time. That's what they did with getting rid of Goff. I don't see the difference. Like, bring Aaron in 1 year. You don't bring him in not to win a Super Bowl, Smitty. This team is ailing, to Steve's point 2 weeks ago. Steve said on this show, the Niners have windows closed. They're old. Do they re-sign Fred Warner? They're going to lose Charvarius Ward, I believe. They're ailing.
That's
you got to put
point.
this
so
together.
Aaron Rodgers ain't the answer. They're 2-3 years too late. I would have loved Aaron there 3 years ago, but right now, Aaron's not good enough anymore.
I don't think you guys are feeling what I'm saying. You're going to pay Brock Purdy then and lose half of the rest of the roster and never win it and sniff it out. At least you can keep some guys. Sign Aaron on a probably a low max deal for a veteran because he don't care. He wants to go home. And then you have a roster around you that a guy can actually spin it and get it to. Get rid of shitbird Ayuk. Get rid of shitbird
They just
Debo.
signed Ayuk to the deal. They can't get rid of Ayuk. They just signed him so big. That's not realistic.
You can trade him? Shit, I'm trading his ass. I'm just telling you, man, you can do some things there. You got a top 10, you got a top 3 tight end. You got Jennings, who's still serviceable. That's the same type of wideout Aaron thrived with in Green Bay.
Saul might be the number 1 receiver by next year. He looks good.
And by the way, you got assets, Steve. Get rid of Debo and Ayuk, and you go out there and get somebody that's serviceable right now that's young and upcoming. Maybe T. Higgins could help you out. Maybe if they don't re-sign him, which it doesn't look like they will in Cincinnati, can you go get a T. Higgins? Can you go out and get another big-time wideout that may be floating around in the NFL this offseason? I'm just saying, surround him with a couple guys, and this team is cooked, Smitty. CMC is cooked.
So after they do all those moves and then they lose in the first round and then Aaron Rodgers retires, what do they do at quarterback the next year now? Start from ground zero?
Smitty, this is the business you're in. So what do you do if you sign Purdy for $200 million to go out and lose again? What's the difference?
You know, you got a 20-some-year-old who's going to be here for a while. At least you got more chances. Like, you're putting all in on 1 year on a 42-year-old quarterback.
The flip side to that is, let's say you do the 1-year plan, regardless of how it works out. If you don't have Purdy, well, here's the thing. Well, now you can just get a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract. See, that's the best way to manipulate the salary cap, generally, is to get a quarterback at the early stage of his career that you're not paying $45 to $60 million. So that's what the coach is saying. So, but by the way, if I'm Joe Burrow, you really want T. Higgins back? Do what Tom Brady did for years. Give back some of your money. And I don't want to hear that Tom Brady married a supermodel. It doesn't matter. He gave back a lot of money. So if your legacy is important to you, Joe, and you like to go to these fancy parties.
Burrow has a model too. Right? Burrow has a supermodel too.
Right. So, well, didn't have one that makes as much money, but if I'm Joe Burrow, I'd do whatever I can. Tom Brady made sacrifices to help his roster. Okay? That's what he did. Bottom line.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know, man. I'd rather have a bus driver for 1 year than a bus rider for 5 and overpay.
Aaron Rodgers might be a bus rider now, and I think it sounds weird to say that because we look at his history, but if we look at the facts and we watch this season, I don't think he's a bus driver anymore. Otherwise, the Jets wouldn't be as bad. The Jets worse this year than they were with Zach Wilson.
I hear you completely, but I just think that whole New York thing is a debacle, and sometimes it is what it is. That roster is I think it's a bad nucleus in New York, and everybody else thought it was a great one. Like my last year at Indy, we went 2-8 with 40 D1 kids. You know what? It's a bad nucleus. Garrett Wilson is not who we thought he was. Sauce Gardner is not who we thought he was. Their O-line, they got old up front, and we thought they were going to get 2 bookend tackles, and the Cowboys bring Tyron Smith over there, and he couldn't block anybody this year, and he looked old. And I'm just saying, they have a left tackle playing right, a right tackle playing left. Yeah. They're so bad. If you look at the roster and break it down, they couldn't get Reddick to play. It was a debacle from the jump. Jermaine gets hurt, my guy. You lose a pass rusher that you just couldn't replace the rest of the season. Yeah. I'm just saying that team was dead men walking. So that's all I'm saying. Steve, last thing, did you get to watch actually a good game? The FCS title. Montana State came back with the Walton Payton Award winner Tommy Mellett. And they come out in a banger. North Dakota State wins their 10th national title in 14 years. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I saw some of the highlights. That's a solid program. I'll be honest with you guys. As soon as the college football regular season is over, I don't really watch that much college football outside the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Shout out to North Dakota State, but yeah, I think Shaun King even said yesterday. He said, like, if there's absolutely nothing else going on in my life, if there's no opportunities and no other shows, no other sports, then I'll turn it on in the background. But I'm not sitting down ordering food to watch this game.
Yeah. By the way, Notre Dame, I told people, Georgia's not that good. I thought they were very vulnerable this year.
I predicted it. Me and you on the same page.
I think Freeman did a hell of a job coaching. To have no threats outside and to just manage the game the way he did. And then when he ran off the punt team, to bring him back on. And I'm thinking of Georgia, do not jump off sides. And they jumped off sides, and I said they just lost the game. It's just Georgia's going through a transition. They're no longer as deep as they were in shows.
Steve, that's our guy right there, Coach Freeman. That's me and you. That's you mix us together, Marcus Freeman. So
I was going to ask that. Steve, are you condoning because of the Asian side of this?
No, I love the fact Marcus Freeman was trying. They tried to bait him to that question. He said, "No, I don't care." He really doesn't. This whole notion that Marcus Freeman and James Franklin are freedom civil rights leaders, they don't care. They're trying to win football games. I guarantee you that's the last thing.
And that's how it should be. Smitty and I bring this up all the time. We didn't give a shit about race in a locker room. We didn't care who was coaching us, black, white, Mexican. I didn't care who was our coach. We never talked about it in a locker room. You only talk about it years later and bring it up. And that's the crazy part about it. I talked about that with Matt Barnes yesterday. I'm like, dog, you guys didn't give a fuck about your locker room. You didn't care who was coaching you in the NBA. You didn't care when Jim Lavin recruited you to UCLA and had a loaded roster. And he was like, you're right. I'm like, I'm just saying, why are we bringing it up now in the media so much? It blows my mind, but we'll see if they air it. I got to ask you, Steve, as you leave, as you walk off here, the Titans fired Carthon. Where you at with the Titans now, knowing that happening? Do you again? Are you saying he's going to come in and draft another goddamn quarterback?
The Titans, yeah. Wait, do I have the number 1 pick, right?
Oh, look at Coach Prime's in the building. Is that Shador's landing spot?
Okay. I'm just telling you.
Ooh, and that blue look good on the icy blue look good on those, Steve. Keep it real.
Yeah, the black and blue is going to look even better when he's on his ass every 5 seconds. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you right now, he's not the guy.
At the National Football League level, for the most part, not that you can't extend plays or the guys that do, but you better be able to throw that ball and get it out of your hands within 2.5 seconds consistently. Yeah. Unless you are a Lamar Jackson or a Mahomes, you have that slipperiness. Caleb Williams learned a few things this year. The stuff he was getting away with in the Pac-12, he wasn't getting away with it in the NFC North.
Yeah.
I'll just put it to you that way.
I'm be honest. If I'm Tennessee, I'm taking Travis Hunter over Shador Sanders at 1. I'm going to be honest. I mean, there's just no way about it. There's no other ifs and buts about it. I'm taking him over Shador. That's just me. Let me ask you something, Bailey, real quick. You're a Tennessee Titan guy. How long has Carthon been there? Is this like, how many years has he been the GM there? I'm curious, because hasn't the Titans gone through a few GMs over the last few years? I don't know if you know, Steve. I think they've gone through a few, right? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out why they got rid of Vrabel. I thought Vrabel was a very solid, hard-nosed, tough football coach. Brings an identity.
I said the same.
Prepared to play. Sometimes you got to ride it out. I mean, look, Harbaugh had some rough years in Baltimore, but they always said, you know what, you're our coach. We'll go through the rough waters. And look, they're still a Super Bowl threat. I thought getting rid of Vrabel was a little bit of a short-term panic move.
Yeah.
They hired Carthon in the beginning of 2023, and so they just fired him.
Shit, he's brand new.
Yeah,
God damn.
Yeah, that's a
See,
short
Steve,
run.
I don't, Steve, that's the thing, man, about the NFL. Steve, last thing. Do you think Gruden can get a job?
Yes. Yes, I think he should. Not sure why he was ever fired, but look, were the Raiders really better off without him? I guarantee you they'd take him back. That's what I think. Yeah. But, yeah, it looks like Gruden's back in the good graces of everybody.
I've been reading up on it, and apparently the lawsuits in the NFL and the owners have nothing to do with each other, so it won't stop him from being hired by an NFL franchise. So that's a good part, the lawsuits that are still out there. So I could see Jacksonville I can see that. I can see there's a few spots out there that I can see him in.
Jimmy, I meant to ask you earlier when we were talking about Rex Ryan real quick while we're on this topic. How hard is it though when you haven't been coaching for years to jump back into it and start coaching? I know he has the brain.
That's an issue, but again, Smitty, he's been covering the National Football League, so he kind of knows the landscape. It's not like he was out there on a farm living like an Amish guy. I mean, he kind of knows what's going on. I think the teams should be looking for who's the next Dan Campbell. Yep. Who's that next go-getting son of a gun, bold, gutsy guy that actually looks like he played football? No more Mike McDaniels. That's out. That was cool for about a year. But the guy that you need that's going to be a ballsy SOB that knows the way players think and plays a modern style of football, Dan Campbell, America's coach. He's great.
Hey, you're right, Steve.
Dan Campbell sitting next to you, Steve.
Hey, Steve, I don't understand why these people don't understand this shit. Like, I really don't. You lose Saban, guess what happened in Alabama? And guess what? T-Rich is about to come on here, Steve, in a minute, and I'm gonna get the belt out, and Michigan put that belt to that ass, and I'm gonna show. You
look at the way Tyreek Hill just quits, and I'm like, see, that's the thing. You foster that type of behavior. When I watch Detroit, I look at guys who love football, where culture fits, that play for one another. You look at all the stuff that's going on in professional sports, guys quitting, whining. I look at Detroit Lions, and they are what's good about what we love about sports. Mm-hmm. Guys that are competing, guys that play for the city, the organizations, and themselves. If they get a few pieces back defensively, now that they got home field advantage and a bye, they can make a run. And maybe Hutch, give him that Super Bowl week. Ask him if he's got a dozen snaps in that leg of his. You never know.
Man,
you never know.
What a
Dan
story.
Gamble,
I agree.
That dice. I love that. That's a good football team.
Hey, we got you on Thursday, so we'll talk about the games. We'll talk about the games, the Final Four in college football, and then this week's wild card is going to begin Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which I hate. It's crazy, but we'll talk about all that on Thursday with you, and we'll see you later on. You on Whitlock?
Yeah, be on in about an hour. Talk to you guys later.
All right, Steve. The amazing Steve Kim, y'all clap it up for him in the chat. Appreciate him coming in, blessing us with so much knowledge of the game and insight. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, become a member. We're trying to get to 1,000 members by tomorrow. So, hey, we need y'all to do it. Without y'all, we can't do it. I think we're about 100 members away. We have 2,000? How many people we got on YouTube right now? Let me see. We got about 1,400. So, no, about 1,700 just on YouTube alone. So, if 100 of y'all who are not members just become a member, that would change the game and get us to our 1,000 goals. So, let's make that happen right now. 1, 2, 3.
And if 1,700 of you would go to the other channel and subscribe, then it will become a channel we can start being live on, and I'll do live rants and other things on there. So, Mike Bundy, man, always showing love.
That was Mike Bundy. Also, JB, I heard that you were going to start being more active in the Discord and doing more like exclusive conversations with fans, stuff like that. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
And my mic went out, Bailey.
I think JB has an issue with technical difficulties, y'all. I think something happened where his mic went out and he just went out to the side. Hopefully, we'll be able to get JB back. But I believe that JB's going to be planning on doing more exclusive conversations or video calls only to members in the Discord. So if you want to have that exclusive one-on-one with Coach Jason Brown. JB, are you back? You hear us?
Yeah.
Got to become a member, man. Got to become a member. So Isaiah, that's not a rumor. Lucy, I don't think it's a rumor. I think Jason's going to be in the Discord heavily starting today. So make sure you guys are there. And also, I don't know if I'm not going to say it out loud yet because I don't know all the logistics, but JB and I possibly have something very special for you all coming up this Friday. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Why don't we just tell them?
You want to tell them? Are we sure are we locked in for sure?
Are you in?
Oh, I'm in, like somewhere. I'll make sure that
you got to get up at 4.
I do that on a regular.
So you get up at 4. You're gonna meet me there. You're way closer to there than me. So you get up at 4. I'll get up at 3:30. I'll head over there. Fuck you eating, homie?
People on J sandwich. You remember back in the days, I would always eat on the show. You would get frustrated. People in the chat, like, oh my God. I gotta bring it back.
I'm gonna talk about. Keep fucking with me, homie. I'm gonna talk about the next place you got to work at. So anyway, let's talk about Friday. It will be the studio is back, but it's going to be on the water because we're going to be on the yacht.
We're doing a members only show Friday on the yacht.
Live show, members only. So make sure you become a member right now because we're going to be live on the yacht. Yes, sir. I'm going to go on the yacht. We're going to do the yacht. I'm planning it in my head. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get there early, about 5. I got to do all the work because Smitty's scared of the water. And have you heard what's going on over at Fox? So I'm gonna get there early, set up the yacht, get all this shit going. Smitty's gonna be scared of the water, so he's gonna just do bare minimum on the boat, yacht. And then we got Enoch, our boy Enoch, set me up on how to do it real easy. I'll explain to Smitty. It's going to be something simple. Real simple, but we'll have actual mics, so it'd be crazy. It'd be interesting. I got a satellite on the yacht, so we'll have the Wi-Fi. I'm going to untie because we're inside. Where I'm at now is a very, very bougie upscale spot. So we're going to get in the water, on the boat. We're going to go real slow, but we're going to film that part. We'll be on live as I get out of the harbor, which is about a 30-minute, 5-mile-an-hour ride. And then Smitty and I will be on there doing that. And then we'll get to the harbor, which is not real ocean, but ocean. And then I'll go anchor up somewhere. We'll anchor up real quiet little area. And now we can yell and be ourselves. So we're going to start the show that way. And it's free game Friday. What better day to do it than on the yacht? So that's all I'm saying.
Only thing I ask is,
You know who hit me? Before I cut you off, who told me that he has access to a drone? Our boy Roy.
Oh yeah.
He said he will come and drone it live from the top angle as I'm driving the boat. You see the back of the wave, boo. As we get out there, he could drone shot some shit and really make this thing legit. But I need all members only though.
Roy fuck around and crash the drone. So the only thing I ask you is that make sure you get me back safe and sound because I do gotta go to work after that. So make sure.
I knew you were scared. I heard it.
I do gotta go to work.
I said we're getting in the water. We're gonna take it slow, 5 miles. Your wheels are spinning.
I gotta go to work at that place. So
where do you gotta go to work at? Where you gotta go to work at?
At the studio.
Take another bite, homie. I'm gonna talk about the whole get down. So let's get on.
No. That's why Belly Day members only. Why she roll her eyes? Yeah, Kelly, become a member then, homie. Shit didn't change, Kelly. You been married since 2018. Shit didn't change. Members only in here. We gotta survive.
I might bring
Ash. All y'all this exclusive.
I might bring Ash on the yacht. I don't know. It might be just turn it all the way up. I might drink.
Ash, you're gonna fuck the whole experience up.
I might bring Joy. Sorry. I might bring Ash. I might bring Ash out there and fuck with it, man. Let's take a commercial break, man, before T Rich gets on because that was an accident, by the way, Smitty. But we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Visualize me, Steve. That's all I'm going to say.
So for the audio listeners, who can't see this, Angel Reese, we know months ago, I think I don't even want to podcast or what, but just telling people not to sexualize her so much. I guess she gets a lot of crazy messages in DMs, whatever the case may be. But she's been getting some heat for this New Year's outfit for the video people who are watching this. And, there's a video from Steve Kim's guy, Charleston White.
Yeah.
Angel Reese. Check this out.
She might well just start selling pussy. I be looking at the way she dressed. She don't want to play basketball. She want a hoe. She got that hoe spirit. And she a basketball player. Don't know about this. Don't no woman play basketball. Them boys like don't no real woman shoot no hoop.
Fuck he wearing?
That's y'all boy, man. I know you and Steve, y'all love y'all some Charleston White, man.
Man, I would love to meet Charleston. I would love to interview Charleston. He'd be one of the few people I'd actually like to have dinner with. There's always that question, if you could pick 3 people or 4 people to have dinner with, he would be at the top of the list. It'd be him, Thomas Sowell, Jimmy Johnson, and I have to think about the other one. But Charleston White is the marksman. He never misses. People are angered by him. They don't like him. If Charleston White, here's what he needs to do, though, this year. This needs to be his resolution. If you want to really create interest in this league, he needs to do a weekly WNBA podcast and just let him say what he wants. It would be hilarious. Every clip would go viral. I'd be the first subscriber, and I would drop a lot of likes.
I might have to do a WNBA take myself. Steve, where are you at? Listen, man, it is what it is. The problem I find, first of all, let's start at the top. Let's start, Smitty, in all seriousness, at the top. The fundamental issues, why Brittany Griner and the rest of the league goes abroad to go get bigger paying days, because the WNBA just doesn't pay them enough to, I guess, to their liking, where they can stay here and not rent $4,000 condos and all the shit that we've seen these girls say on social media. So they go chase the bag other ways, right? I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. Go do it. Go get your money. On the other side is, though, just don't sexualize me and then come out and have ass and titties out, because that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not, but I'm going to look. And I guess if that's what you consider sexualizing, then so be it. But I'm going to look.
I think when she said the sexualized comments, it was more so tailored to, like, I guess, like weird people coming in their DM saying all type of stuff, but that's just part of social media. It is what it is. Again, I'm not giving.
I've got to give her credit looking at that, but not to sexualize her. Just an observation. She has bigger Spaldings than I thought. Respect.
Listen, Andrew Reese look good. Like, I ain't gonna lie. In my opinion, I think they're
real. Are those real or fake?
I don't
doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
Woman and if you feel like you're looking good, I appreciate it.
I'm just looking at the aesthetics. I don't care if they're all natural or not, but the Spaldings are bigger than I thought. But yes, Angel, we will not sexualize you, because you do that just fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the bottom line, I think, Smitty.
Here goes some bullshit. I can tell by your face how you turn. You go like to Jay about to say something crazy by the face he makes, Steve. It's like a certain. You like turn his head to the side.
No, I would never put Steve in a precarious situation. Here's the thing, Steve.
But me, though, you do it.
Smitty, what do we know her as?
That's why LSU, Caitlin Clark.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We look at her as wannabe hoe. She want to be wannabe hoe.
Andrew Reese.
I'm talking about guys, Smitty. We're talking about 3 men. What do guys see when they see her? Not a basketball player. We see her as a hoe.
A lot of missed layups.
Come on, man.
A lot of missed
We're not
layups.
looking at his basketball. Let's be honest, dog. We're not looking at
when I think Andrew Reese, my immediate mindset, I think it's Caitlin Clark, because that's what.
Baby, you gotta be shitting me. So, Steve, we see her, and Smitty's like, "Oh yeah, you seen Angel Reese's crossover? That motherfucker's wicked. Did you see her?"
I'm saying that's the fault. That's the fault. That's how we know her from. That's where we know her from.
Damn, I saw Angel Reese was good when titties was out here. I saw her on the Shaq show. Titties was out talking about mama. Then we don't talk about her layup skills, Smitty. Stop. Come on, man. Let's be honest here.
What I'm saying, we're talking about 2 different things, JB.
Why did Shaq get heat for saying what a lot of people were thinking? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Y'all need to play in the lingerie. Y'all need to play in the Victoria's Secrets. I'm thinking, well, not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them. Not a lot of them. Let's be honest. But good job, Angel. Good job. You won't say
it is what it is. I would love. I mean, I could talk about it forever. Shaq is. I'm with Shaq. I said it 15 years ago. Lower the rim in the WNBA. Maybe I'll watch. Maybe.
He said that on an Inside the NBA where Candace Parker.
Oh, yeah, she was hot. She was hot.
And she was all angry, and I'm like, and her attitude, and it just said to me, Candace, you're actually one of the nicer people You're actually one of the more palatable ones. Your reaction is why a lot of people don't like your league.
Yeah, I love
Shaq meant
Cannon.
no malice by what he's actually trying to help you. Now, I'm not
But I think the women
convinced.
take it as disrespect because for them it's like.
I get it.
I guess if you're playing the sport and you're telling me like I need to lower my rim, I need to do like it's almost like discrediting their work or their talent.
Yeah,
from
I
their
get it. We get it, Smitty.
So I'm saying
We
I
get
can
it.
understand if I'm in their shoes, I would probably be offended too. If I'm in their shoes, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it. We get it all. But the bottom line is, we're not watching your sport. You're not making any money. You need to make money.
They do got viewers now.
Lower the rim. Well, they. Yeah. Yacht day, Friday, free game Friday on the yacht. No doubt. We got to do that. We might do it once a week and then have like members who are in Cali or whatever join us on the yacht. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do something like that. You pay me like $5,000. Come on out. Something like that. So I know if you're like a weirdo fucking creep pedo, that at least I get $5,000 from the deal. You know what I mean? I don't throw you off the fucking side of the boat. So, I mean, it is what it is. And by the way, real quick, this is how dumb most of the non-members are. Some of you in here right now, and everybody on Twitter is, and Instagram. It's a sausage fest. Smitty, that's all I hear. It's a sausage fest on the boat.
That's all they ever say.
Do they know who the fuck's filming me?
They don't know because you never revealed the person.
And I never will. Like, you motherfuckers are so stupid.
I'm gonna reveal the person on Friday though. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But you don't even know. You don't even know.
Oh, I know.
Changes.
No, you did. No, you ain't. You see, now listen. This is the realest show, Planet ERF.
It changes from time to time. One guy he go one time and film me another. He film another time.
Only I don't know about that.
And that's how I like to keep it.
But I want to meet the foreign that can't speak English. That's what I'm trying to. You know what I mean?
Why?
That's what I mean.
You married though.
Whoa. You going too far. I'm talking about meeting my homies' friends.
Oh.
Yeah, ain't nothing like that.
Yeah. And I want to be clear real quick. To everybody out there, I don't think people understand. Let's do a deep dive real quick. First of all, I don't ask my boys for gas money, food, drinks. I fund it all. Short, fast, skinny, as all. I front everything. Go to the bar hopping in the port. I pay everything. $600-700 bill. I don't really give a fuck. I buy it because that's who I am. Now, number one. Number two, just to be clear, if you bitch about bitches not being on the boat as my homeboy, that's a you problem.
Yep.
I got a bitch. You need to bring your own bitch. I'm not about to bring a bunch of bitches so they can meet each other, see each other, just to make sure that you guys can say it's not a sausage fest. You fucking morons. I don't bring sand to the beach. You fucking morons.
If you real player though, you can bring them all around each other and they wouldn't even care.
No, you're not. Real player does what I'm saying right now. See, that's where you guys get fucked up. That's where you guys are not understanding this whole process. This is where you don't get it. You're not very bright if you think the other way. You all need to go bring your own pussy if you want pussy on the boat. I'm not bringing you several pieces of pussy so that they can all figure out the game and say, no. Oh, Jay, you know where the cigar lounge is? Oh, you know Ash? Oh, you know the fucking BMW? Oh, you know the truck? Oh, you been on? How do you know how to undo the top on the boat?
So you was the one else recording.
Hey, why is you hooked up to the Wi-Fi?
But Jackson, see, you ain't got your shorty's train phone.
On that. See, you guys don't know. Hey, mommy.
You ain't got him trained, JB. You ain't got him trained.
You don't know game.
Keep him quiet.
You know. True story. My homeboy. This is cold. That's why bitches is cold blooded, homie. My homeboy at the house party has his homeboy over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
His girl and wife are there.
Hold on. What you just say?
So the homie that's hosting his wife is there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
His homeboy's girl's there.
Got you. Yep.
Why they asked the wife, what's the password at the homie's house, and the motherfucker gave the other girl the password to the Wi-Fi. And the whole party stopped. Like, because he figured out, like, how the fuck you got my Wi-Fi password? The bitch was like, how you got this Wi-Fi password? Yeah, dog. Homie did the other homie dirty. He was fucking the broad, and she was already on the Wi-Fi, and she'd been over there several times.
Dead homies, you lying.
And it was saved in the phone.
Put it on the hood, JB.
Yeah, it's on Pyro. So you guys got to understand something. You guys in there. I didn't mean to say that either. Fuck. You guys in there, out there, need to understand. Wi-Fi is a real thing.
To say lately.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is a real thing.
No, Wi-Fi's a real thing. Listen, though, we got my main man in the background. He dancing, he laughing, he in the car driving. Let's show the video, man, to our big time guest, national champion, NFL player, running back, coach, father, Alabama legend, the one and only T. Rich.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you in the I hate a storm, Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying, you little giants, we been defiant. Rise, let's call speed the balls, breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin guitars, got the kind of action, never acting. We need to scramble to get traction, we make it happen. Richardson, the book, we get second guy miss. That is all teammates, keep him up, Richardson, into the end zone.
Yeah, T-Rich Tuesday. He's in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, man? I'm sitting here laughing at y'all ass. How funny is it?
That's your boy.
Hey,
That's your homie.
You got a belt? Anybody got a belt?
You know what?
You got a belt?
I got Swiss on today. I ain't got the belt on me today.
I got you,
Jackson.
Jackson.
You got the belt? Okay.
I got you,
Okay.
Jackson.
What happened to the belt to ass? What's going on in the bathroom, man?
Michigan movie? Michigan movie?
Listen, man.
In the Aquafina Bowl. What game was y'all in? The Pop
The
Tart?
Mexican bowl?
Motherfucking Chipotle Bowl? That was in some.
Homie bowl. They was in the homie bowl, the Mexican bowl.
It was in the acai bowl. Them was in the.
It's the Mexicans. There's a bunch of Mexicans put it on.
They was in the Megusta Bowl, and these motherfuckers lost to Michigan. This Michigan.
Man, we must be in the damn tequila bowl, man. We don't know what the hell is going on down there, man. Like, this is my thing, man. It ain't even about, well, you know what? I can't say it ain't about you losing, because it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely the way, right? It's a way to everything. But just it's no way to win, lose, but it's a way to handle your business. Like, have some type of grit, pride about yourself, man. Like, that's what I don't understand. And the same shit that they've been getting away with for the last couple of years is eating them up now. Because now you don't have that head honcho at the table to be like, hey, you got to stop that shit. We don't do that, though. Now you got a guy there that's like, hey, you know, let's get it. Come on, guys. And that's not talking about DeBoer. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, he's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy.
What wouldn't he have done? Like you mentioned that. Let me ask you, what wouldn't he have allowed? Like, was there something that maybe the quarterback did to start the show? I don't know. Like, start the game off? He kind of was doing like a TikTok dance or something, I thought. I don't know. Is that his normal get down? I don't know. Like, is that something he wouldn't have been doing?
He wasn't even dancing. It was a picture, homie.
I mean,
But
it was
even with that, like, man, it's time to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get off that bus, or when you get on the bus, like that morning, that day, bro, it's straight business. You know what I'm saying? You already know it's straight business. Like if you not wired that morning, that day to be like, it's time to go, then you shouldn't even be at the game, bro. Like for me, like I was the guy who didn't really like talking and laughing. Like I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? That was me. Other guys like to laugh, and I just couldn't get jiggy with that shit. Like I just had to get away from that.
But everybody get ready different because some guys that would probably laugh will go out there and still ball out too, though. So
You got guys that can.
Yeah.
He came out with that TikTok dance, and that motherfucker threw 4 picks. I'm just saying, you come out with a TikTok dance and you throw 3 picks in your first 4 drives, then I'm looking at you as that's the problem. See, if you came out and threw 3 touchdowns, nobody would talk about TikTok dance.
That's what I'm saying. The correlation don't make sense. He was going to play shitty anyway.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
How do you know? He wasn't.
Come on now. Come on.
Richardson, you tell me that this right here is what caused him to play bad. Stop it, homie. He had a whole week of practice, watch film. Maybe he didn't. This moment did not make him play bad. JB, stop it too.
Come on now. Come on, Smitty. Stop that. Smitty, stop that, Smitty.
Trent, you telling me that this is the reason he played bad? Stop, Trent. Stop. So the whole week going up to it, this was the moment he played bad.
Man, micro thinker, listen. He didn't say that. He said that.
Good, homie. How about that? He ain't that good.
The leader of real men isn't there no more. So the leader of real men.
I give you that.
This is my thing, Smitty. Like, we seen this kid make these type of throws and playing these type of games. So it's like, it ain't like he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done seen him come back. We done seen him. Yeah, but we done seen him.
Save him, bitch thing. I forget that.
Hold on.
Yeah, no. This is what I'm saying. It's always a learning lesson in what Nick do. Like, you look at what Nick did last year with that team, and when he benched him and letting y'all know, like, hey, this is all we got, bro, and we're gonna work with what we got. And he pulled it through with him that year. You know what I'm saying? They were still able to go win 10+ games.
Yeah, no.
Can I ask Smitty? I gotta ask Smitty, defender of all things. Defender of all things. Real quick. So did this?
I'm doing that.
When
he do that, stop doing that.
Hold on. I gotta ask you, homie. Did that help him fucking play better? No. That's the question I want to ask you. You want to talk about it didn't help him play worse? Did it help him fucking play better? Hell no, it didn't. Shit. That's my take on this motherfucker.
Do nothing, though. That's the point. It didn't help or hurt. Whatever preparation he did to that point was already locked in. He can't go back and watch more film. He can't go back and have more padded practices. He can't go do nothing else. At the end of the day, whatever work you did to that point, that's solidified. At that point, there's nothing you could do.
So
he could have prayed the whole before the game. He could have prayed for an hour before the game. Whatever, that ain't gonna change the game. You still would have got built to ass.
Hey, Jay Steezy, here's a pose of your bits in my house right now. So if I'm the unemployed coach, here's your girl, motherfucker, in my bed right now. But anyway, I just wanted to share the difference of poses for everybody out there. So look, Smitty, I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be honest, dog. Belt to ass, T-Rich, in an era that we are losing great men in. We are losing men like leaders of men every day. We're losing fucking Mike Krzyzewski at Duke in basketball. We're losing fucking the best of the best in Nick Saban. We got a guy, Halfley, who was the head coach at Boston College. Last time I checked was a Power 5 conference, left to be a D coordinator in the NFL. We got a guy in Chip Kelly who left Westwood, California, the head coach at UCLA, to go be a coordinator in 20 below degree weather ass Ohio State. You can't tell me there's not an issue, Smitty, because these kids now are running the show. Because it's about a bag, they want the money, they can transfer anytime without any repercussion, and they are running the show. Like, let's keep it funky. We don't want to deal with that shit. We can't coach you hard, can't yell at you anymore because you'll leave. And I gotta pay you,
Not true.
Come on, dog. There's more and more guys.
Listen, I'm not the fan of how things go. It needs to be more structured. But what I'm saying is there still are coaches today who are good coaches, hard-nosed coaches who have figured out a way to adapt to the current landscape and still be successful, a la Dan Lanning, a la Ryan Day. These are just quick names that I'm throwing out. Harbaugh last year before he left for the NFL. There's still coaches that we've seen be successful with this today's age. But some of the old guys, who I don't blame, and as a Nick Saban or Coach K in basketball, I don't blame them from stepping away because they know themselves. They know that, hey, I'm not adapting to this, and I can't do it. We'll see if Bill Belichick can adapt to it.
You say coaches. Listen, I'm a Dan Lanning guy. I love Dan. But what does he want? We keep talking about being good. I mean, T. Rich and I are on the same page when it comes to win the whole thing. Notre Dame, you still got to win the whole thing. Yeah, you finally beat an SEC team when it matters. Okay, good. I thought you were going to get beat because Georgia and Bama and everybody else that's ever played you in playoff games and beat your ass. You finally got a game. Well, guess what? The whole landscape's really watered down too. And we can talk about the SEC is down and all that old shit. You can talk about it. Let's just say they're down because the whole shit is watered down. And anybody can beat anybody, Smitty. Come on now. Penn State don't belong in a goddamn Final Four.
Okay,
Penn State
cool. That's cool. The other three teams do.
I'm just saying, if Boise State's quarterback hits two wide open guys, they fucking lose to Boise goddamn State.
If my teammate didn't run to the side of my knee, I would have had a 10-year NFL career. If it was a fifth, we all be fucking drunk, homie. If you didn't go on Netflix, you probably be the head coach candidate for the fucking Jets right now. We all got ifs, motherfucker. What are the facts? I don't want to hear no ifs. What are the facts, homie?
The fact is, homie, you were 5'8", 320. You weren't going to have a 10-year NFL career.
Don't uncover your mouth, T-Rich. That wasn't nothing, T-Rich. Uncover your mouth. That wasn't nothing. That's false accusations. That's cap right there. 6 foot 285 dog, all conference. Agents blowing my phone up. We want you. We need you. That's a fact.
They didn't need you. All right, T-Rich. We got to talk about it. There's one SEC team. T-Rich, in the Final Four, and that's a team that should have lost. That team should have lost, by the way, to Arizona State.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Like,
this a new SEC.
Thing is, JB, not to cut you off, the one SEC team ain't even like a traditional real SEC team.
That was my next point, but you cut me off, so you cut my point off.
You cut me off on the side, so that's cool.
They're a new SEC team, T-Rich, like Texas, not even a real SEC team, and they're the only team representing. Is the SEC down? Or is it just so watered down that anybody can win right now in this 12-team playoff? Because we just let anybody in this one. Like it seemed like kind of Lisa Rice and them just threw some shit at the wall, see if it sticks, and then we said, hey, we're going to just put anybody in. Smitty wants to put 64 teams in next year. He just wants everybody to get in.
That team is great. Notre Dame been hot since they lost. They had that early loss. Ohio State's the best team, most talented team all year long. They finally put it all together when it mattered the most. And Texas went on. The one question mark that I will give you is Penn State. That's the one team I'm like, all right, they kind of had it a little easy. But 3 out of 4 is right. And that's good to go. Ohio State will win the Natty, and that it will show you that this 12-team playoff was needed, because if this was still the 14 playoff, Ohio State wouldn't have made it in, and we as fans would have not been able to be blessed to see the real best team in the nation this year, because they had a blunder in the last game of the season. This shows you that you can have a 2-loss situation and you can have a hiccup and still recover and still show you that you're a top dog. Ohio State,
that's my point.
Roster, we knew that before the season started. Urban Meyer said it might be the greatest Ohio State roster of all time. We've been known that. So one blunder should not fuck up that opportunity for us.
They had two. How many motherfucking teams? How many blunders do you get now in your mediocre ass world, homie? Like I'm tripping off T-Rich sitting here like, damn, you can lose 3 now and get into a motherfucking playoff.
I don't understand that.
Oh man,
you got
the only team Clemson won conference, homie. Stop.
T-Rich, he over here defending teams with 2 losses and talking about, well, shit, we missed out on him possibly winning. Nobody wants to watch your 2-loss ass get in. It should have been 4 teams. And guess what? That's a you problem that you didn't get in.
Jason,
you weren't good enough.
Right-handed God. Is Ohio State not a top 4 team in the fucking country?
Right-handed God. Right-handed God. Tell me right now. Right-handed God right now. Tell me.
Is Ohio State not one of the top 4 teams in the country? Put on a dead
right now, because they are. Because that's left.
Nah, but fuck no. I'm saying fuck all that. I'm saying what teams are you telling me with confidence? Fuck what we know now. Even before this stuff started, what teams with confidence would you saying is better? Bama damn sure ain't better. No offense, T. Rich. You thought Georgia? I guess you could argue Georgia before. I guess you could argue Georgia. You could argue Oregon, of course, because Oregon beat them. And who?
T. Rich, can me and you speak some sense, please?
I'm done talking the rest of the show.
Okay. Right-handed God, Smitty. So does the regular season not matter to you then?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, then how does it? You got a team that
eyes work too, homie.
No, your eyes don't work. Your eyes don't work because the team that we're talking about lost its last game to a horrific Michigan team that has no offense, and they lost to Oregon already, who beat 3 teams in the playoffs.
They lost to Oregon by this much.
I don't care about all that. I mean, they lost. You keep talking about all this old shit. The bottom line is, does the regular season not matter to you then?
It do matter, but your odds gotta fucking work. Just like NFL, how I've been telling you all year long, the Baltimore Ravens are gonna win the Super Bowl. I've been saying it for a long time. So hold on. So when they do it, I'm gonna look back and say, I told your ass. You can say, how? Well, they were 12-5. They lost. My eyes work, homie. I know football. I know it takes to win.
T-Rich, just let everybody in. Fuck it.
So this is my thing, man. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I'm hoping that Texas win right now. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I gotta hope that an SEC team wins the playoff game or make it to the playoff. It's crazy for me right now, bro. Like I don't understand like where these guys' standards at, or like what pride is in winning the game. Like at the end of the day, I get it. It's a business, but at the same time, like I ain't finna let you embarrass me on my job in front of millions of folks around a nation. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's so watered down right now, man. And I can say both ways, right? The SEC down, but it's almost like, well, hell, all the SEC teams are beating up on each other for the first 10 weeks of football. The first 10 weeks, the SEC was top 15. You at least had at least 8 teams in the top 15 for the first 10 weeks of football.
That's every year, though.
Like, yeah, and that's every year.
I'm a West Coast guy, and I agree with you. And Smitty gets, right now he's like the little boy in the corner in school right now in class. He on timeout because he's sad because Smitty wants everybody to be good, and he wants everybody to be praised, and he wants girls coaching football, and he wants girls playing football, and Smitty wants everything to be right. He's a great human. Smitty's such a great human. He just wants the world to be perfect. Everybody walk around naked. And nobody says nothing. Nobody looks at you weird. He wants Adam and Eve around this motherfucker. I'm not mad at it. I love him to death for it. But goddamn, we got to start having some alpha male conversations again and talk about there's the cream of the crop for a reason and shit roll downhill for a reason. Huh?
You call me soft, homie?
No, I say you're a great human.
Now you said all that. You said, but we need to have some alpha male conversations. So when you put a but in there, that means anything prior to that is not alpha male.
No, I said we're about to have an alpha male conversation.
I'm making sure, homie, because I was sure about to check you. I continue.
T. Rich and I are going to have an alpha male conversation, and you sit over in the corner like be sad.
All right, little boy.
Here's the thing, little boy. So I'm trying to figure out. I watched that clip yesterday. I'm still loud. I was watching the whole. They did the clip, little boy. Hey, T-Rich, Mike McDaniel in Miami is a little boy. I don't know if you heard his ass talking. That's why Tyreek Hill got up out of there. That motherfucker looked like a little boy up there and leading men, and we're supposed to listen to him. Like, come on, man. This is what we're talking about, man. Like Ken DeBoer or Kalen DeBoer. Okay, cool. You win some games at Washington. You won some games. But Kalen DeBoer, you're a little boy. You're a little boy. Because I'm just saying, T-Rich, you're a little boy, homie, because these cats they want a man to lead them, T-Rich. You don't want no little boy. Skinny jean, little boy, what we're leading you out, homie.
How about Minnesota? Who's Minnesota head coach?
Yeah.
Roll the
It's
boat.
elite. Yeah, roll the boat.
What's his name, Bailey? What's his name, real quick, Bailey? Roll the boat. We had talked about on the show yesterday with the capris on. Is he a little boy?
He's definitely little.
Huh?
PJ Fleck. Yeah.
PJ Fleck. Is that a little boy?
PJ Fleck's a little boy like a motherfucker.
I'm sorry, T. That shit funny as hell to me for some reason. But we gotta chill with the excuses about the water down, though, y'all. If y'all say it's watered down, cool. But if everybody's watered down, then it's still chill. So it still shouldn't be no
But
issue.
it's almost like it's watered down, but it's almost like, well, it's watered down, but it's almost like we can't say that because they beating up on each other, man. It's like ain't nobody else beating up on them like that. Now we talking about a regular bowl game. Ain't nobody really playing the bowl games no more like that. Know what I'm saying? Like it actually counted. Well,
Bama, y'all played y'all starters and got built to ass, and then
they definitely did. Now,
Georgia wanted
that's
to
one
win and
thing.
go to a natty, got built to ass.
Well, yeah, I agree on that now. If it ain't playoffs or nothing, I mean, it's kind of hard to get up for the game.
Can we be real? Can we keep it all the way funky on this show right now? Your little boy, PJ Fleck, he had fucking mayo just dumped on him.
No, he didn't.
And yes, he did, and he took it. Like it looked like one of them gangbangs where the bitch just take 12 motherfuckers. It looked like that. I'm like, hell,
you lying?
There ain't no way. There ain't no goddamn way. I'm gonna let you pour some thick white shit on me. There ain't no way.
I didn't see that video.
T-Ridge, there ain't no way. T-Ridge, you drink? Is that drink good, T-Ridge? I'm just saying, there ain't no way that there ain't no way that I'm about to let this dude pour mayo on me.
Was it the mayo bowl?
And the motherfucker just sitting there, Smitty. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this shit, homie.
Look at
Flavor. Little boy. Hey, T-Rich, this motherfucker look like he jacked off an elephant. And he gonna sit here and talk to me about being elite. What the fuck? You jacked off an elephant, homie, on national television. Hey, I'm supposed to play hard for you?
He's a player's coach, Jason. He was trying to have fun with the media and with the player. Say what you want about PJ Fleck. We talked about it yesterday. PJ Fleck is a winner, though. I played against him in college. He was at Western Michigan. He turned that program around.
But
had an undefeated
can you
season.
see Nick Saban taking some mayo over his head like that?
No. Thank you. No. Okay then, Smitty, you can say that out of
man's.
I can't even see Kirby. I can't even see Kirby doing that. Like I can't even.
He not.
Kirby wouldn't do. Kirby might pull a little. He might pour some Kool-Aid on. Kirby got a little flavor to him. He might pour some Kool-Aid over top of
I can see the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I see the Kool-Aid. Sugar and shit.
You think Dan Campbell's gonna sit there and do that with a dip in?
Hold on, Dan Campbell.
Fuck no! Stop! Stop!
Dan Campbell, no kneecaps. He a wild motherfucker. He might do some wild shit.
That don't mean get nutted on.
And then use it to like motivate the team and shit. I got men on my fucking face. If you motherfuckers are fired up, and then like he'll flip it somehow. JB, I heard somebody in the chat said when your player, they said you got some shit poured on you before too though, and it wasn't Gatorade.
Yeah, Gatorade, like a man. Gatorade. Hey, T-Rich, real quick, I gotta ask you, the players for the Ravens, and I know you played in them locker rooms. They're reacting to Lamar Jackson's unisex cologne, and some players say they like it, and other players say it's feminine. Where you at with this? What would you do if your quarterback that you're supposed to go lead the team to the Super Bowl with your boy Derrick Henry, and he sprayed some smell good on you that's actually not man? Take a listen.
Sprayed himself, motherfucker.
The sea, ocean, fresh ocean smell.
Flowers?
Hibiscus, daisies.
A little more on like the feminine side, kind of like more like feminine cologne. Okay. I don't know if I'd wear it, but it's not bad.
I will give it to my daughter. I'm an old lady. Hey, I would listen. I'm for guys making money. Do your thing, fella. But for me, I don't want to be smelling like everybody else,
Okay.
and I don't want to smell like. I don't want to be I don't want to be a anything possible for me to be smelling like my old lady. You know what I'm saying?
It's a neutral scent. Let's be clear. It's one of those scents that men and women could wear. Like a neutral
I
scent.
knew he was gonna defend this motherfucker. I knew he.
It ain't fuck. It's just a neutral scent, y'all.
So it's not a fruity smell. It's not a fruity smell. It's just a
it's just a little neutral. It's not as like super strong, that strong masculine cigar. It's just a neutral smell where women could probably do a little squirt if they wanted to. Men could do a little squirt if they wanted to. You know what I mean? It's one of them type of things. You know what I mean? Pause. You know, it's one of them type of things. You know what I mean? Like I know some ladies that like more of a masculine type of perfume. You know what I'm saying? I know women who like that. You know what I mean? So it's the type of shit.
This motherfucker This motherfucker.
At the end of the day, bro, Lamar Jackson's the MVP. He might go to the fucking Super Bowl when the finals MVP. So Super Bowl MVP. So whatever little thing you trying to do right now to belittle the black man, the black quarterback who's been proving you wrong since he stepped foot in the fucking NFL, I'm not gonna let you do it, white man. Little boy, I'm not gonna let you do it, JB. You've been against Lamar Jackson since the day he stepped foot. You say he's not a quarterback. You said he's a thrower, not a passer of the football. You said he's just an athlete who plays quarterback, not a true quarterback. You gave him so much disrespect. He proved you wrong. He threw for 40 plus touchdowns. Ran for almost 1,000 yards. Threw for over 4,300. Won the AFC North, and when he wins the finals and Super Bowl MVP, what you gonna say now? You gonna find something, I'm sure, but it's gonna be on deaf ears.
Order in the courtroom. Order.
T-Rich, this motherfucker said she could wear it and maybe we could wear it too. I ain't never heard no shit like I never heard.
Outside, homie. You in a bubble.
Hey, T-Rich, hey, little boy, you done talking? You already talked. So hold on. I got a girl who now I'm gonna take her shit and I'm gonna tell her, hey, we're gonna go on the yacht. We can both wear your cologne.
Y'all,
right, Smitty? That's Smitty.
I swear to God, I know y'all not.
No. You just said it, homie.
He Rich almost 40, and then JB's almost 60. So respectfully, this is not y'all lane. Y'all not outside no more, which is fine. T Rich is like he go coach his kids, he go back home. JB, you don't leave Long Beach. You're in Long Beach, Wisconsin. That's where you live at. That's where your house is at. So y'all are just in y'all bubbles all the time. I'm outside. There's called neutral fucking smell goods. That's a real thing.
What's so funny about that shit, Smitty? I've been saying for the last few days, like, bro, I'm getting old as fuck. Like, I'm getting old. Like, listen, I hit the couch the other day, and now I got a bruise on my leg. Like, what? Like, I got a knot in a bruise on my leg. Like, I've been playing football my whole life. Like, my body has been trained to be in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's basketball shoes now. My New Balance got my basketball shoes now.
You're not that guy anymore. It's okay.
I refuse, man. I refuse to go to San Francisco. I refuse to go to Atlanta. I refuse to go to certain places because I don't do the gender neutral shit. Where I'm from, there's two genders, man and woman. Men got a little musky, nice and manly cigar. I want a real man's cologne, which real women like, by the way. Real women want to smell a man. They don't want to smell a woman on a man. Because if that was the case, I'd walk around with some stanky pussy on me all day. So I'm just trying to throw that out there. So anyway.
We're trying to sell this show, JB, to the highest bidder. There's big brands, a lot of eyes on this show. More eyes than you think are watching this show, taking notes every single day. Big time players, big time playmakers, big time decision makers at a big time platform. When you say phrases like you would wear stank pussy as your scent all day, stank pussy. When you say that deters and scares those bidders from putting $1 million on the show. So I'm just using everything, like you said earlier, everything's a learning lesson, Jason. So I'm just teaching you a learning moment right here.
Darnell, for that reason, I apologize to you. I didn't know I said that. I didn't know I said stank pussy. Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
I'm going to come out with a cologne called Budussy. That's balls, dick, and pussy. Balls, dick, and pussy, which would be mixed. It's mixed. And there's your gender neutral cologne, homie. Budussy. I'll call it Budussy.
You should actually do it. Like, no bullshit. JB's Budussy. I guarantee it would go crazy.
If Erica Badu can do it, you can do it, JB.
It's 2025. I'm down to do whatever. Like, whatever gonna get us rich. I just
I'm saying, didn't Erica Badu do it? Erica Badu do it?
Oh, she did?
I think so, yeah.
Erica Badusi. That's kind of cold.
No, she didn't do Erica Badusi. She actually took
It was
some
like round by COVID time.
Yeah, she actually took some pussy and put it in a jar.
I should have bought some of that. Yeah, that's interesting.
I heard it stank though.
That
like
was
a
around
motherfucker.
7.
It was what? It was selling? Is that like the bitch on TikTok who was selling her farts in a jar?
She was selling her fart, and then somebody was selling their bath water. They put milk and cereal in the bathtub while they was washing themselves, and they sold the jars.
T-Rich, I don't know what happened to the show.
I'm not for the OnlyFans with my biceps and just sell my biceps.
T-Rich, it was a sports show until you hopped on. I don't know where it went to.
I don't even like sports no more.
I know this, T-Rich. Football's watered down as shit. Smitty wants everybody to get in. He wants Ball State to play Alabama. He wants everybody in the playoff. And it is what it is. Next year, we might see it. We might see everybody in the playoff next year. And we'll see guys just walking out. Maybe next year, T-Rich. Maybe next year, T-Rich. What I'm calling right now on the show, on the Coach AB show with Big Smitty and T-Rich. T-Rich Tuesday. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. I'm calling it right now, T-Rich. Ball State will get in. They'll play. They'll be the 64th team. They'll play the 1. They'll get beat, and then those players will enter the portal. And they'll transfer to the number 2 ranked team in the playoff. They'll get to play again in the playoff. That's where we're headed, by the way. That's what Smitty wants. Smitty wants all things great. He wants everybody to just keep playing. Everybody gets an award. Everybody gets a trophy. Ball State, you lost by 70, but you got in there. And guess what? You can now transfer and go play at Tennessee for the next round. That's what Smitty wants, T-Rich. And let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
You're really good at making stuff up and then like making an argument with your lie. So like kudos to you for just being a true entertainer. You are officially a content creator. You are a influencer. You're no longer Coach JB, you're influencer JB. So from now on, everybody in the chat, refer to him as influencer JB. Don't say hey Coach JB, say hey influencer JB. Everybody in the chat. Influencer JB has a brand new title. We're gonna change the logo to the show to the
Hey,
Influencer JB show.
I got a question for y'all. And I know we're gonna start a whole different argument. I know how JB feel, and I know how Big Smitty feel. Do you think LeBron can play another 5 to 7 years at the top of his game like he is right now?
See, you don't know how I feel, probably, because I'm gonna say hell no.
T-Rich bullshit. He fucking with us. He fucking with us. He fucking with us.
Did he?
He ain't at the level right now. Honestly, I don't care about the numbers. I know old LeBron 10 years ago and LeBron now is not the same.
What's crazy is this LeBron is still dominating in this era right now. Like that's
dominating. How we dominate when we the 7th seed or whatever we are? Like the old LeBron, it didn't matter what the pieces was around him.
They're the 4th seed in the West right now.
We were just the 6th seed right before that though. So one loss, we probably back to 7th seed. All I'm saying is the old LeBron. He was 1 or 2 seed at all times. It didn't matter what the situation was. It didn't matter if he had a great crew around him, if he had average guys around him. They're a top 2 seed every single year. We're not even thinking about playoffs.
But I'm saying, are we so spoiled though that we don't realize like this motherfucker is 40 now?
Nah, I mean it's special what he's doing though for sure. I'm not gonna discredit that. JB would probably discredit him. It's special what he's doing. We've never seen this before. This is insane.
I think T-Rich, if you can buy that rub, the shit he got. I think you can play until he might be playing until he's 65 years old. His son might be a 30-year veteran, and that motherfucker's still playing. He might be player coach around that motherfucker because we know he's hitting Genie Bus, so we know that's why he's still there.
All right, Jason. Let's say for shits and giggles, he is taking some shit. Hypothetically, why is he the only motherfucker that's ever done it? Why didn't the other old heads like he the only person who had access to it? Vince Carter didn't have access to it. None of the old heads had access to it.
Barry Bonds, all them motherfuckers. I miss it. I think the sports was better.
Then why we bring it up there? If it ain't a thing, then fuck it. If it ain't nothing.
Well, I said we know he's on it. So if you rub down, he might play for another 5-7 years. To T-Rich's question, homie. That's all I'm saying. Hey, T-Rich. I got a question first before you. Right, cool. I'm gonna go back to your point. You gonna get one of these motherfuckers knocked out approaching me in public because they say, hey, influencer JB, what's up? So is that
what they saying for real?
I'm just putting it out there right now. It's on you, homie, because when the motherfucker gets depleted at Walmart And it's because of you, because the motherfucker gonna be a smart ass. I'm just telling you.
Are they really saying that in the chat?
No, I'm just telling you that's
Ain't
what
nobody
I'm
even saying it, homie. You good?
I wanted to say it. No, D Jones said you're D Jones said you're YouTuber JB now or something.
You shouldn't have brought it up because now they're gonna try you. Now that you just said that, now they're gonna try you.
Well, no shit. Why do you think I did it?
Oh, you want to fight? Okay, cool. Damn.
So anyway,
T-Rich, real quick, I ask you something, T-Rich, because I know you're huge into hockey, man. So the LA Kings, man, they faced the Tampa Bay Lightning 3 days ago, man. Got a close win, 2-1, man. Jake Gunsell played well, man. Victor Hammond, of course, for the Lightning, but it wasn't enough, man. The LA Kings just had too much. With Mikey Anderson out there, Philip Denault. Just what's your take just on the LA Kings this year and like how they're looking as far as on the hockey side?
T-Rich, can the Kings win the Stanley Cup?
All hail to the Kings.
Can they win the Stanley?
Like any context or why you think? Like
It's possible. It's possible. Like it's possible. If anybody can do it, they can do it.
Yeah, okay. JB, you got to follow up to that. JB, you got to follow up or?
I mean, you can't answer that better. You can't answer it better because that's his open-ended thing.
This
like
nobody said if anybody can do it, they can do it.
Nobody can say you're wrong because the motherfuckers I think are in the top like 2 or 3, by the way, in all of hockey. So they can do it. If anybody can do it, that's by the way, that's BPS. If anybody can do it, little Johnny can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
we never admit that we don't know some shit. We'll just play it off as if like we know. Like even if somebody like, hey Darnell, do you know so and so? I'm like, yeah, I know so. Yeah, you mean
I let a motherfucker borrow $20.
Yeah. Anthony. Oh yeah, I know.
Hey T-Rich,
all right.
Be safe. You on that?
This motherfucker moving fast.
Yeah, you're on that cricket. They might have an earthquake. China had an earthquake, 7.5, homie, last night.
They be all right.
All of a sudden, the drones disappeared. They had an earthquake, and then the drones left. It's weird. But anyway.
What happened?
Because all the drones come from China, and then they had an earthquake, and it fucked up their...
Drop the link, man. We're going to let members call in for 5 minutes, and I'm going to leave after that.
You're not doing anything unless I say.
Drop the link, Badly. Members only. Go ahead and call in. Promise y'all last.
I want to talk about this.
Dun-dun-dun. Breaking news from my guy, NFL insider Jordan Schultz. Sources say that free agent running back Ezekiel Elliott is signing with the Chargers. This is actually a sneaky good pickup for the playoffs. Just to add a little physicality, a red zone, short yard situations. Good O-line there with the Chargers. I actually think Zeke will add a little bit of benefit in the playoffs in certain moments. So it's a good pickup.
Smitty, he's not on the roster.
He will be, though. He don't start off practice squad, but he will be by the time the game starts.
I think that the Chargers are going to win 2 games.
Who they play first round, homie?
They play the Texans. They're going to win. They're going to beat the Chiefs. I just think that's setting it up. That's what they're doing.
Was it Shaun King? Who's on the show yesterday? Weddle said the same thing. Weddle said Chargers are going to upset the Chiefs. He said the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I also think that the Packers are going to beat the Eagles.
That's the one I don't see because the Packers, they haven't looked good. Remember, I was big on the Packers earlier in the year. I think I predicted them to go to the Super Bowl against the Ravens, but they just kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not. There's something going on. You can't not just your quarterback just can't come from a concussion protocol and then just everything's hunky dory in Philly. I just don't. It don't happen. I've never seen where you're unsure going into a playoff week. Now, if the Eagles had a bye, I would say this is no issue at all. This is an issue because Green Bay does play better in the playoffs. You saw it last year against Dallas. You've seen it in the past. They play better in the playoffs when it's a one-and-done scenario. They always can get you one win. They should have beat Philly in Brazil in the Gangbang Bowl to start the season when you couldn't wear green and all that and walk in the streets of Brazil. That should have been a loss for the Eagles. I'm just telling you, this Jalen Hurts thing is serious, dog. I'm going to be real. Because it's not like Jalen Hurts passing the buck to a Flacco or a Cousin, somebody that's serviceable and older and can play. They're passing the buck to a cat that's hurt, is not very good anyway, or they're passing the buck to an absolute nobody. So like they don't have a backup on that roster. That's legit. You don't even have a Minshew. So like I'm just saying, dog, it's scary right now.
How you feel about the Washington Commanders, homie, against the Bucs? That's a tricky game.
I'm taking Washington.
For real?
You know why?
Why?
Baker Mayfield knows what it is. He understands playoffs. He's won it. He's felt it. He's tasted it. What do you mean, JB? That means they're going to win then. Jaden Daniels don't have a fucking clue. He don't care. He going to go out there and throw for 350 and run for another 3 touchdowns because he don't know. It's just a normal, regular day to him, and so is Cliff Kingsbury. He doesn't know because he never sniffed it with Kyler Murray. He don't know what the fuck it is. He got that fucking, that's the scary part. If I'm a Bucs
kind
fan,
of like your Milroe take earlier, similar.
If I'm a Bucs fan, you don't. If you're a Bucs fan, I'd be scared.
To that point,
real.
maybe maybe this is another show, but to me, that shows you how important the mind is, how effective that is when it comes to how you play. You know what I'm saying?
You mean not Milroe? You meant Milton.
Milton. Sorry about that. Yeah, Milton for the Patriots. Yep.
Yeah, you meant Joe Milton. That is a real thing. I when it came out and somebody sent it to me, I go, and they're like, "What do you mean?" On Instagram, I'm like, "It's better that he didn't know he was going to play. That might have been Gerard Mayo's best coaching job of the year."
Same thing happened with Justin Herbert when he kicked off his career. Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the chest by a doctor, and then just went in. Huh?
Tyrod Taylor got what?
He had like an issue with a medical issue for the game, and then Justin Herbert jumped in and didn't know right before the game. And went out there and balled
He got
out.
stabbed in the chest by a doctor? Like with a knife? You said he got stabbed in the chest.
No, I said he had a medical issue. I didn't know. He got stabbed in the chest by a doctor? That's a good ass scorched lighter right there. Where you get that from?
Can we talk about Stephen A. race baiting again? Talking about Gerard Mayo shouldn't have been fired because he's black.
Shout out to Stephen A, man.
Can we be real on the realest show?
Stephen A, the biggest name in this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. When the truth is told, doesn't matter who says it. Doesn't matter who says it.
Truth real quick then.
And the truth is crazy in a world full of lies.
Oh, man.
So listen.
Shout out to Winnable, by the way, man. Big time. Go to Winnable right now, sign up, and follow our bets. Go ahead.
Hey, I didn't see Stephen A. and Ryan Clark come out last year and be up in arms and pissed off when your boy Frank Reich got fired after 1 year. I didn't see them coming out of the, oh my God, Frank Reich got fucked over. He only got 1 year. I didn't see, I'm drawing a blank on my punchline. But anyway, another white boy got fired after 1 year last year. 2 white boy head coaches got fired last year. I don't know who it was, Bailey. Maybe you can find it. And I don't remember them coming out like up in arms about it. And here's my point, man. I don't give a fuck what color you are. And I know Smitty don't give a fuck what color you are. We play around on this show quite often and all that. But we play the game in locker rooms. I had this discussion with Matt Barnes last night at Stack and Jelani McCoy, a good friend of mine. And I'm like, nobody cared in the locker room. Why now is it? And they're like, because it's the talking points that gets clicks and likes. And I go, dog. And he goes, and it's certain networks that are pushed that way by their Disney or whoever the conglomerate is behind it. And I'm just saying it's got to be wearing thin on everybody now. And I don't care if you're black or white and you agree or disagree. The disagreement should take place. You should have the conversation. But no, let's be honest. It's happening for everyone in the NFL, and it always has. I mean, coaches get fired every year, regardless of the fucking color. Like, let's keep it real. So, like, I want to be clear. It doesn't matter who's fired, but keep it real. If you're going to talk about them and say it's unfair, then let's talk about the 2 coaches last year that got 1 year. And Frank Reich is well respected in this business, much more respected, and has a way deeper resume as a head coach than Gerard Mayo. And he got 1 year. Ron Rivera How short-lived was his stint in Washington?
For Ron.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We've had short-lived. It was 2. We've had short-lived stints by a lot of coaches. It doesn't matter the color. I've defended every color because I don't care. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach. I don't say, oh, fuck, he's black. Let's give him 1 year. Going into the fucking deal. Oh, you know what? McCarthy's an old fat white. You got 1 year. I give a fuck. Urban Meyer was 1 year, wasn't he?
No comment.
Oh, yeah, he was. I didn't remember Stephen A. talking about Urban. I know, but I comment. I didn't remember Stephen A. talking about it. Everyone talked about, guess what? Grabbing the Badusi. See what I'm saying? It's always some bullshit, homie, we talk about. We got to stop with the bullshit. Let's just keep it real and call it what it is. Stop talking about, I don't care who wins the MVP. I'm going to be real with you. Lamar's had his best season to date. And I've said it on this show all year long. This is his best he's ever played. And I don't want to hear about it's fatigue. He had the worst year of any MVP winning quarterback last year, statistically speaking.
But it was a down year across the board, so stop it.
No, was it? No, was it?
Yes, it was.
Josh Allen had better stats last year than he does this year, homie. Stop. See, that's that race baiting shit you're doing right now. You're doing it right now. He had better stats last year than White Boy did. And he got fucked over.
But the Ravens were way better than Bills last year.
I don't care.
It does matter. So, like, here's the balance. It's like a pie chart that has different ingredients of what encompasses an MVP. Winning definitely matters. But you don't necessarily have to be the number 1 team in the whole league, but you at least got to be like one of those top tier teams, which the Ravens is, which the Ravens are. I think they're 2 games or something behind the Bills. Okay, boom, close enough. Number 2, they face each other this year, and Ravens belt to ass, beat the Bills, and Lamar outplayed Josh Allen. Number 2. Number 3, Lamar's stats are literally across the board better than Josh Allen's. So, like, all across the board, he's better. Last year, Lamar Jackson, in every single big-time game, put your hand down, Jason, every single big-time game that he played, he showed up and showed out. Monday Night Football game, Monday Night Football game against the Niners, every big-time game where the whole world was watching, he showed up. He was the best player on the best team in the NFL, and although Josh Allen's stats were better last year from a winning standpoint, whatever, the Bills were not fucking with the Ravens last year. This year is close to the wins, so the other things matter a little bit more. That's what it is.
That did not look good for me. That did not look good for me. I'm not laughing at you, Smitty. That did not look good.
Oh yeah, I mean, it kind of falls brand. It's on brand. It's on brand for what you are. So, fucking racist.
And I have like a synonymous situation with Hitler.
And you just got done talking about how the Stephen A. and them to stop complaining about the black coach getting, like, you add up all the shit that just happened just now. Damn, look. Like, if somebody didn't like you in this chat, they could chop this up in a way that makes it look horrible. Then it would make me look bad because I'm the black man on the show. Now I'm the coon for not checking you and shit. So just for safety real quick, I'm going to do it. JB, you fucking racist, put your hand down. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm not gonna stay here and let you do that right here on the show.
Is it better?
So now if they cut it, they can add that to the end and I'm good.
Is this a better raise?
If I was you, I wouldn't put my hand up at all, white man.
Better?
Definitely don't do that. That's my shit.
Okay, so hold on.
White people can't put their hand up.
Can I? That's another issue we see. We're gonna have that other issue right there. White boys can't do nothing. What? Can't say the N-word.
Stop. That's not,
can't say the N-word.
That's not what we're starting off with, motherfucker. Why do y'all want to say it so bad, though, homie? That's not bigger.
Y'all don't.
Because I got somebody who I work with who just really want to, like, I ain't remember.
No, because he's a W with the W at the front.
Y'all really want to say it, though, bad.
No, y'all don't.
Maybe you know a lot of you wanted to say that shit.
Nah, time out, though.
I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying a lot of you.
So white folks can't say that. White folks, it's hard to get hired. No, it's not. It's hard to get hired right now. White folks would at least hire.
Hell up. I'm not letting you get. I'm about to jump on the show. You sound crazy.
Hold on. So why can't y'all say cracker? Jason. And it's okay.
Jason.
I'm just asking.
Because you want to go there. Listen, taking emotions out of it, all this shit is stupid. I'll say that. At the end of the day. So, boom. Let me start there. But
so let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's not talk about
But it's not the exact fucking same, Jason, and you know that, Jason.
No matter though. What I'm saying,
you know what your people
did
to my people. And the last word that my people heard before they fucking
doesn't matter.
And killed them and did it. It was you that completely.
We
did not enslave y'all, and Cracker was just some shit that
I just gotta be honest.
As like a comeback to get back at y'all, but it was nowhere near the same ammo and variety. Stop.
I gotta be honest.
You know, you're smart for that, Jason.
I just gotta be honest. D. Jones.
I'm talking about
you and Smitty weren't in the movie Life, motherfucker. Stop.
What the fuck you talking about, homie? You asked me a question, homie, so I answered. Don't cover your mouth up, homie.
Y'all weren't in Life with Martin and them, homie. Y'all don't know. Stop acting as if you motherfuckers were all involved. Stop.
Homie.
I'm getting fucked
you
over
went in the
right
movie
now.
Hoosiers, homie, so stop.
You know who's getting fucked over right now? Me. I'm getting fucked over and passed by for the DEI, homie.
You're not. The white men are still running the fucking world, homie. Stop.
You know what's
crazy right now? See, it's crazy. No, this is an example.
Yeah, Bailey's over there.
Black people get a little bit of help, a little bit of just a little. We get a few more jobs. Women get a few more jobs, and the white man get uncomfortable. Man, that's bullshit. It's tough for us out here. Motherfucker, it's been tough for us for our whole damn life. And define your tough. Your tough ain't our tough. But I'm talking for my people, though, homie. And about me, I'm talking for my people.
Rest in peace to all the black folk out there that went through it. And shout out to them.
Nah, it ain't just the people that's dead, homie.
Your people, homie. Stop.
The fucking Gen X is still around. 57, 60-year-olds, they went through it. Motherfucker, like, what you talking about? Stop.
No, they didn't. They worked with my pop.
Yes, they did.
No, they just walk by. They walk all the way around Compton in LA, homie. Shit. I wrote history books about it.
I asked the homie who fucking helped build Compton. He said he didn't know you.
The motherfucker said, who helped build Compton?
OG all, Rock. Everybody, if you from LA, homie, you know who fuck Rockhead is. If you don't know who Rockhead is, then I can't even respect you out here.
First of all, Rockhead is not close to building Compton.
All I'm saying is, he got respect out here, homie.
The motherfucker said build Compton. My daddy and Tay Brown built Compton, and we're going to talk about it.
I'm saying is, OG Rockhead, Rockhead got respect out here.
White folks built Compton. It was a horse and buggy town. Hey, we were a horse and buggy town in Compton, homies.
I know that, homie. And then y'all left once they put the value went down, whatever, and they put all the black people all in poverty all in one area. They caused redlining and put the white people over there. This chap better tread lightly. Suburban kids.
We got everything a show can possibly get.
Yeah. Hey, G, I hate you, motherfucker. Fuck you.
We have race baiting with Smitty. We got victim mentality. We got DEI hiring. We have a white-black mixed cat in the background that defends the white over the black on occasion, and then he'll jump in with Smitty. He's kind of neutral grain. And then we have me. I'm racist. I can't put my hand up. I can't say the word, any of that.
He gonna say it bad, y'all.
I've never said the word one time.
All right, y'all have a great fucking day. I'm about to go here, hug my girl, take a shower, do some work, and then actually speak the show I work on. We're doing a special edition episode at Cosm. We're shooting at We're not going to Fox Studios today. We're going to Cosm and shooting a show there. So that should be fun, man. You can see all the behind the scenes. Make sure y'all follow Speak so you can see all the behind the scenes content that I post.
At what?
It's called Cosm, COSM. So basically, have you seen like
Why?
No, this has been planned for like weeks. It's like Cosm has the big ass like 3D like screen. So a lot of times on Saturday, college football games or whatever, it's a bar, but people will go there and it's like you're on the field. The screen goes all the way around. It's similar to the little bubble in Vegas that they what's it called? You know what I'm talking about? The little the sphere in Vegas. It's similar concept.
I thought you said coming. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
No, it's called Cosm. COSM column. So y'all have a good one, man. I'm gonna get off this show for something happens, and then I'm gonna get off show for something bad happen, and then listen, y'all, members only boat show on Friday. So if you're not a member, yacht show on Friday.
You know what I'm You know the first fucking video we're taking on the boat on the yacht.
Yeah.
You're gonna take a video of where it says it's a certified yacht, and you're gonna do it live. We're gonna do it fucking live on the show.
Only thing I ask you, get me back to the fucking spot I'm supposed to be where my car is at in time, so I can make it to work in time. I got a meeting at 10:30 on the phone. That's cool. That's on the phone, so that's cool. And I gotta go straight to work. So do not fuck me. I'm gonna beat your ass on the yacht. So
You would never even try to fight anybody on the yacht because you're too scared to fall in the water. So let's just be real.
Right there you go, Jay Steves. Exactly.
I want to know what picture that is.
Malibu.
That's not Malibu. That's like a forest. That's like Mono Lake or something like some white.
He said your Malibu's most wanted.
No, I get it.
But you phony.
I get it. Yeah. He's a shitbird. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. I hope he's the first one that says, "Hey, what's up, content creator JB?" And I just take off on that motherfucker with a two.
Now everybody gonna say it. Like they forgot I even said that, homie. Now you keep bringing it up, and they gonna check you now. You gonna be going to fucking where you shop at? You don't go to like Whole Foods. You shop at like
I've never been to Whole Foods in my life. You know about a true story? I've never been to Whole Foods in my life. I've never been to Trader Jack's or whatever. Never been in my life, and I've never been to. I just went in my first
Erewhon?
Sprouts. I went in my first one.
Gotcha.
I actually got a good swordfish out of there, and I barbecued it.
You usually shop at like Walmart still, or it's like Sam's Club, like the big stores, or the hood stores, the little Mexican shops that people don't know about, little bodegas.
Carnicerias.
Yeah.
I go to Costco and Sam's because I buy so much shit for so many people. You know how I get out and cook and shit, so I do all that, and then I take a lot of shit to the yacht.
So you're gonna be at Costco though, homie, and somebody gonna be like, "Hey, influencer JB," and what's gonna happen?
They're gonna get drugged they're gonna get drugged from aisle to aisle, homie.
Fucking Sam's Club is big. Costco's big, homie. It's a long aisle.
I don't know. I don't really fuck with it, but Jay Steezy's a member?
Yeah.
He talk a lot. Like I never heard of him before. Is he a fake member, Bailey? Is he just
green? Hey, if you green, it's for me. You can say what you want if you green.
Is he a member just today?
You can say fuck JB, whatever you want to say. If you green, you can say whatever you want to about JB. Like that's the reason why you're a member. That's why you pay to be able to talk shit and get access.
You can say the word. You can say the word, whatever. If you green.
Jazzy said, "I'm still waiting on my plate, JB."
My what?
Her plate.
Plane?
Plate.
Oh, plate.
Fix her some food, homie.
Let's check Gawk out.
That ain't no problem for her. She would have been dead there. Well, I'm gonna head out, y'all. I got something to do. Brandon, you can hold it down, man. Jump in for me the rest of the show. And then y'all have a great Tuesday. Man.
I got a lot of work to do, man. I got a lot of shit to do today. Coach JP Score. No, I really do, Smitty. I do. Let me rephrase it. I guess, I do. Some of it's have to, but a lot of it's like I gotta do. But I stay busy, even though I can literally sit right here and not move, and do whatever. But I be going all over, man. I gotta go do some things. I gotta get some other things ready for Friday for the yacht. Now that we're going. It's supposed to be like nice all week long, but we're going to be out there real early, so there's going to be a tough marine layer. I'm just letting you know right now it's going to look like kind of like a foggy, scary, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying the marine layer, it's on the ocean. It's maybe 6 a.m. What do you think? It's going to be fucking sunny and 80?
You bring me a Starbucks, like sausage, egg, and cheese, a little bagel, I'll be good to go. With a
I got a lot of food on the fridge in the boat.
Yeah, okay. Like, what you got?
Yeah, it's a yacht, homie. Yeah, I got fridge. I got microwave. I got ice chest galore.
I don't want no raw eggs, though, homie, on that motherfucker.
No, there's no raw eggs.
I want some fresh shit, though. Cause respectfully, white people don't wash their hands, and y'all all eat after each other, so I don't really know it's bird food going around. I can't be getting sick right now, so bring me some fresh bag.
We smell way better than y'all, though. We smell way better than y'all, though. That's a fact.
Jason, man. Like, no
bullshit.
Fact, this has nothing to do with race. This is just a fact.
No, seriously, it's a
fact.
fact.
Black people take our cleanliness way more serious than white people. That's
like you're lying. You're lying, homie. Come on, homie.
You don't even wash your hands after you take a piss, homie.
Thank you, Bailey. I grew up. Come on, homie. You act like I grew up.
I'm at work every day with white folks who go take a piss or take a shit, and they'll go in the sink, they'll rinse their hands and walk out.
Why does not one black dude in this whole chat agree with you then?
No, he's saying your cap is fuck. He's saying your cap.
No, nah. He's saying that you're lying. Bailey in the background says you're lying. Everybody out here says that. You like Lamar Jackson cologne, homie.
Homie, I got fucking real deal cologne in that motherfucker right now. I can bring my cologne out. $500 bottles in that motherfucker. Yeah, I'm different.
Motherfucker. He changes up. When Smitty was he didn't when he not corporate, motherfucker. He get BPS.
No, boy.
And by the way, if you lined up 100 white folks and 100 brothers, we smell better. This is what it is, homie.
I'm not even gonna argue. I'm not gonna get excited or hyped over this. It's just an honest, like forever. I've been as a kid. I knew this.
I wash my hands more than any human I've ever met.
JB, you grew up around us. You admitted that you were raised by black women. You said that out of your mouth.
Yeah,
so you probably saw black people.
Yeah, and then I got out, and then I taught y'all.
Man, stop. I might get about there. People could hit me up, blowing me up right now for money and business.
Can you send me some?
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all have a good one, man. It's going to be a great Tuesday, great day. If y'all
get out of here now.
Discord.
I'll get out of here now. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Work Boot Wednesday. Don't miss it. Live. Coach Mazzoni. We're going to break down some more film in a coaching manner like we did last week. You don't want to miss it. Plus, hopefully, Scatterboo will get on here, and we'll get some special guests. Shaun Moore is also going to hop on at some point. We talk all the time. He's just figuring it out. He's recruiting. So we'll get to Shaun Moore from Michigan's head coach who beat Alabama hopefully soon too. It's Badussi week on the Coach AB show with Big Smitty all week long. Badussi week. So make sure you head on over there. I'm going to keep talking until Smitty blinks. So make sure, because he's faking it, y'all think he's frozen. No, he's just a really good actor. And I just saw him move. So Coach AB show without Big Smitty. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.